an inning and a half. Framber Valdez looks as sharp as you would hope. I like the fact that they can go Skubal, Valdez. Not just who cares if it's lefty or lefty. It's how you get outs. It's how the opposition is going to make contact to ball. What are your impressions about the top two in the order?
I love that, and it doesn't get talked about as enough, but how they've gone and gotten two aces, really. Skubal and Valdez are both aces. From the left side, they pitch differently. Their pitch shaping is different. They try to get hitters out differently, and I think that helps the team with those two horses at the top. You're not getting two hard-throwing lefties that go fastball, changeup, and challenge you all day back-to-back. You got Skubal, who we know is the best pitcher in the game, and then right after that, you got Valdez, who's crafty. He's throwing the sinker, the changeup to righties, a little slider to lefties. I like what this rotation is turning into, especially at the top.
Why do you say crafty when it comes to lefties? Everybody says crafty. I don't think he's crafty. I think he's got good power pitching, too.
He does. It's how he pitches. He's not trying to strike pitchers out. He's trying to work his craft and really change batters' eye levels, change pitch speed, get people not just to hit ground balls, but hit weak ground balls, hit weak contact to his defense. As a pitcher, I was never a hard-throwing lefty, so I wanted to get contact earlier in the count, especially earlier in the game. That's where your defense, they get engaged with the game. We see McKinstry at second base. We're trying to figure out why Colt Keith might not be starting. Seems like they want the best infield defense for Valdez, who's just going to try to pound the strike zone, the bottom half of the strike zone, and get those ground balls shut.
He's a ground ball pitcher, man. So you've got to have a good defense. If there's a negative about this team and the way it's constructed, that's kind of how I feel. I like the defense in the outfield. If Green's in left and Parker Meadows is in center.
Yeah.
Kerry Carpenter in right. I'm not he's not going to be there every single night. He's more of a DH guy. I'm worried about the defensive infield more than anything else. You know what I mean, Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing about Framber Valdez being a ground ball pitcher is that you look at the last game, McGonigal and Torres turned 4 double plays. And with him being a ground ball pitcher, hopefully we can see more of that today.
Yeah, the defensive runs, I'm a big defensive runs DRS guy, all right? So while there are certain, it's a nice play by McGonigal, who's just very, very steady so far. I give him credit. He missed the line drive the other day, which was a little odd, but then they turned the double play right afterwards. KG, thank you for getting us on the air.
Yeah,
we
no
appreciate
problem.
it, buddy. But I do like that the way this team. Let's talk about the construction of this team. How do we think it's constructed, properly or improperly?
People would jump to say it's improperly constructed because it appears the offense has been neglected in terms of going out and getting a veteran bat, which everyone's calling for. Maybe it comes at the trade deadline, but what they want to do, they want to invest in pitching, keep the score low, give up few runs, and then try to win with timely hits. Have their guys work counts, get deep into these bullpens, and win series. They're trying to win 2 out of 3 every series.
Yeah, I think everybody does that, though, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're not sweeping. You're not sweeping many teams, all right? Unless you're the Dodgers sweeping Arizona at the beginning of the year or Arizona sweeping the Tigers.
Yeah.
It's about winning series, and I'm fine with that. I really think, and I've beaten this into the ground, I think baseball today is about power. Like, people can bitch all they want about Riley Green's 201 strikeouts. How about the 36 bombs and the 111 RBIs?
Yeah.
That's my concern. My concern is the lack of power from the right side, and that's why when people go, why is Torkelson in the game and just play Colt Keith at first? That's why.
Yeah.
Because that dude's got 30 bombs or more 2 out of the last 3 years.
No, and that's been the problem with the Tigers for multiple years now, and I've been very critical over this time just with the lack of power sources on this team. And you give Torque credit. He has been a guy, and I know I've been hard on him, but he's a 30 home run guy. Riley Green, like you said, the strikeouts, we don't like them, but you got to look at the other numbers. OPS, normally very good. The average, normally very good. He's a 30-plus home run hitter. You need these type of guys, but they don't have enough. You like what McGonigal has shown. He seems to have a little power, and that'll be a great addition for this lineup. Gleyber Torres, he walks more than he swings, but he is also another guy that with some pop in his bat. But
what do we consider pop? Well, let's define pop. That's 15 homers.
Well, yeah.
But I guess from that position, it's not a big deal.
No, it's not. And Dylan Dingler, another guy who has stepped up from the catcher position, which is, not something that comes around every day. He has a lot of power in his bat, but just doing it.
We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
He had 12 bombs last year. He had 12
no, that's true.
All right?
Well, he has the only home run for the
Yeah.
Tigers this season.
Yeah,
Okay,
through
but-
6 games, 1 home run.
Yeah.
Dylan Dingle.
That's your guy. So.
Yeah, I would say the power's the last thing to come in any lineup and at most players.
Right.
Okay. So I'm not expecting a lot out of McGonigal. If I got
No, of course not.
If I got 18 bombs out of Dylan Dingler this year, I'd feel really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
There's
feel
not
like
many
he's-
Gold Glove catchers who can do that.
No, that's a
Salvador
fact. That's a
Perez
fact.
is a unique situation.
But do
all
you
right?
think he's capable of more? I think he's a 20 to 25 home run guy, and he kind of needs to be this season because you're relying on a lot of your younger guys. And shout out to, when we did the Tigers post game the other day, you had Rogelio on.
Yeah.
He was making really, really good points about we forget how young the core of this team really is at the end of the day, and maybe they're still going through that growing pain process, but this is the route that the organization chose.
So what
you
does he
need these guys to step up.
What does he mean by young?
Well,
If you're giving me age, that's bullcrap.
well, in what ways? Because
I'm talking about experience.
Okay.
Is Riley Green young? Age, yes.
yes, in
Baseball
age.
age? No.
No.
Is Spencer Torkelson young? Age,
No.
yes. Not in baseball terms.
Yeah, but
okay?
that's
when
what
you
I'm
played
getting at.
4 years. So if you believe that, and I'm not going to totally disagree with you, besides Keith and McGonigal, who's young?
Not a lot of players, but
Okay.
I just mean in terms of this being like the established core, these are your guys that you're going with game in and game out. They have playoff experience now. These guys are still kind of learning on the fly. I know that's crazy to hear that because we've seen these guys for quite the long time, but this is you're not going outside for help. At least that has been the Scott Harris strategy up until this point. We're going to draft and develop, and we're going to keep the guys that we got that we know can go out here. But we're expecting more out of these guys. So when Torque, has the torrid start that he has, Carpenter, we know his limitations, but he's got an abysmal start through these first few games. These are the guys that you're looking to that are going to uplift you through most of the season.
I think the answer is the frustration with some fans is in the middle of both of that. It's
Your 3, 4, and 5 aren't producing.
Yeah, and they've been around for 4 years. Despite being young in age, they've had the experience, the at-bats. It's why normally you see guys come up the minor leagues. What is it, Shep? 10,000 at-bats they want to see?
Yeah.
That number.
I think it's 1,500.
1,500
Yeah,
at-bats.
1,500,
You do that just so you can gain that experience. You see how pitchers adjust to you within a game. You see how they get to their third and fourth pitch late in a game. There are things that go along with that experience. And Riley Green and Torkelson have had plenty of experience at the major league level, and just it hasn't all clicked yet.
That's why I asked the question. Not trying to be a jackass here.
No.
Just 26 is a young person, but 1,900 at bats is not.
No.
So when people say people don't realize the core, how young it is, based on what? Cole Keith and McGonigal, and maybe I'll grant you Dylan Dingler.
Right.
Everybody
Maybe
else.
Parker Meadows, if he.
Parker Meadows has been at the major league level for a while now.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, it seems like I don't think you or anybody else is making excuses, but I want to raise the expectations of this team, and it seems like we're afraid to go there, except against 3 guys: Green, Torkelson, and Carpenter now. And everybody else, I don't want to say gets a free pass, but everyone else is like, well, they could be young and all this other stuff. Come on. Javier Baez has won World Series. Gleyber Torres has been in the postseason too. Okay? Stop with this crap.
Yeah.
This team has got to do more than make a wild card.
I
Because
agree
they've
with that.
got guys who've not just been in the playoffs, but they've got a ton of at-bats underneath their collective belt.
But that's where you kind of question, has the organization made the right decision going with some of these guys? And we know with Riley Green, the numbers on the surface are good, but how much of that is really, really meaningful? I do agree with you in that way, but this is what we have. So considering that this is what the organization has given us.
But they have gone outside the organization.
I mean,
They've gotten Gleyber
yeah.
Torres. They got Javier Baez. They traded for Matt Vierling. Those guys are outside the organization.
But could they have done more? That
Yes.
goes back to the pocketbook
Absolutely.
argument. And, we've gone back and forth about that. Not to say they aren't spending money, but are you spending the money in the right places? And are you spending enough to ensure that you have the best possible talent at the best possible position? I mean, we've been talking about the same things for multiple years now. The infield, third base, you know, the lack of power in the lineup. How many times do we have to trot out this before we realize, okay, this might be a ceiling here, and let's try and go in a different direction?
I don't disagree with you. Some people would say if you're spending the money, and they've spent more than the rest of the teams in the division almost combined.
Right.
Okay. They're in well over 200 million. They were at 160 a year ago. They're 230 plus million this year. Who are we wanting? So I accept this debate. I love it, actually. I embrace it. I'm like, yes, let's talk about that. You got to come with a name instead of just go, I need right-handed power. You want Eugenio Suarez, who's got an on-base of 217?
I was just about to say, the guy on your screen, though,
crap,
I mean, that's
man.
a pretty good pull. But that was a cheaper option.
If you're bitching about Riley Green's strikeouts, how are you going to bitch about his?
I don't bitch about the strikeouts, though. I mean, that's the majority of people. It doesn't look pretty, but I know what he's providing outside of that. So I don't get caught up in the strikeouts as much as everybody else. But Eugenio Suarez is a good example of that was somebody that you maybe could have ventured out and got in the deadline. It's somebody you could have got in the winter, and you could have brought him in at not a big price tag, but the type of production that he has, that's the kind of power that this team needs, because you
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. First of all, he didn't do squat for Seattle last year.
Well, I mean, in the playoffs, he had a pretty big hit.
They picked him up at the deadline. I mean, you thought that, you know, it would show right away.
He didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
Okay. You want you're gonna hang your hat on one big hit. Okay.
I'm just saying.
My guess is he's a guy who he's not a good fielder.
No.
He strikes out left and right.
But that don't seem to be a problem on this team. I mean, you got guys that do that already.
You're right. And if you're gonna hit 40 bombs, then I get it. But he also, would you rather have him there or Kevin McGonigal?
Well, at this point, McGonigal, but that's because we've kind of seen a small sample size of, the things we were hearing in AA are true. Like, this guy, he can play both sides of the plate, and that's what you want to see. I've often said he's got some of the best plate discipline on the team, and he's a rookie. You know, and that's crazy to say, but that's just kind of what we have dealt with in terms of offense for the Tigers year in and year out.
You could make the case he is their best hitter.
Seriously.
Okay.
But what does that say about everything else?
I said in spring training, I said, this dude's going to hit at the top of the order by the end of May.
Yeah.
Now, this is a lot sooner than
I
thought. But
Kerry Carpenter, get out of here.
I said the reason he is there is because of bat to ball.
Yeah.
Making pitchers go deeper in counts, even though he swung at the first pitch today.
Hey, it's going to happen.
And he's going to put pressure on the defense.
Yeah.
And that's what I think this team has lacked as much as anything else. We talk about the strikeouts, and I think it's relevant. I do. People can make up for it with home runs.
Yes.
But what you can't do if you're striking out is putting pressure on the defense and making them field the ball.
Right.
And this team hasn't done that well enough, I don't believe.
That's the issue with a guy like Kerry Carpenter. You know, he's got the power, the tools are there, but right now he's not even putting the ball in play. Like, you can deal with a couple strikeouts. You can deal with strikeouts if, when you're not striking out, like you said, you're putting pressure on the other team, whether it's putting the ball in play or walking. He's not doing that.
Yeah.
Torque isn't doing it.
Yes.
Torque. He's got to learn to hit a fastball, like a 2-0 fastball. He needs to be that power guy that erases the other pitcher's mistakes. We don't seem to have that guy right now, that a pitcher, if you make that mistake, they're going to hurt you.
I agree with you.
That's a problem to me.
It is. And I think that's why it disappointed me more than anything else with this team, that they didn't acquire a power right-handed bat. Didn't have to be third baseman. Okay?
No.
Because quite honestly, I didn't think there was anybody out there.
No.
But it would have been nice to have somebody at a different position to bring that to the proverbial table.
Yeah.
They don't have that. Their power is primarily from the left side.
Yeah.
Green and Carpenter primarily, right? I don't expect a lot of power out of Kevin McGonigal or Colt Keith.
No.
I don't think that's who they are, right? But you're not going to get a lot of power from Javier Baez and Gleyber Torres.
No.
And if you are, then you got issues. Okay.
Yeah. It needs to come from those bats in the middle of the order. When Torkelson and Green and Carpenter are on, it makes that lineup look longer, more dangerous. It's not what you want it's not what you want to see as a pitcher. Right now, there are times you can take a breath as a pitcher. You get to certain guys, not that you take the batter off, but you can take a breath. You're not scared of them beating you with a home run.
Yeah. Top of the third, 2 outs, 1-0 count for Valdez with 3 Ks on the day. Pitch there, up and inside.
He's looking great, and we'll get to him, but it appears we have a special guest with us.
We do. Well, it's honored to be with Juan Romas, who's the man in charge here at Buddy's. I mean, it's such a cool location. It is such a lively event, but it's also a lively place. It's not just for opening day. I mean, you guys get heavy foot traffic anyway. What's this day mean to you and your staff as St. Louis collects an extra base hit down the left field line? Actually, it's held into a single. Go ahead, Juan.
First, thanks for having me. Happy you guys are here. Hopefully, we fed you pretty well.
Oh yeah.
I got to get in. I'm late to the party.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, the anapasto salad, I mean, come on. I mean, it's double thumbs up. And then I got the Buddy's Pizza. I showed this earlier. Somebody took one of my pieces, and I'm pretty pissed off about it. But I've got the Italian sausage and the pepperoni. There's nothing better. Nothing screams Detroit like Buddy's Pizza. There's no doubt about that. But anyway, it's great to have you, and thank you for being here.
Listen, you got to try the pizza with the vinaigrette. That's the thing. Ooh. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Secret menu right now.
It's tough for me to change my habits, but I'll do what I can.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, listen,
so tell us a little bit about this location and the vibrant feel you get from it, especially on game days.
Well, huge day. I mean, this is a huge day for the staff. Obviously, we get an opportunity to introduce the brand and the pizza to everybody. And a lot of people coming in from out of town, a lot of people that maybe are not even Detroiters. So this is a lot of the time the first time they get to try us, and people tell them to try Buddy's, and this is that first foot forward. So we're really excited.
What is Detroit-style pizza? When somebody asks you that, explain it for them.
Oh, my goodness. It's a specific type of dough, right? It's more focaccia, more airy. It's a little bit different, a little bit lighter. Sauce is different. It's pepperoni touch in the actual dough, so it soaks into the actual dough. There's cheese on top. It is very different, very light, very crispy because the cheese is crispy around the edges, and it's made in a special blue steel pan that goes all the way back to the 40s, man. So it's special. It's different, and it's all handmade.
80 years. 80 years, baby.
Double stretch the dough, double proof the dough. Everything back there's an army of people making 600 balls of dough from this morning.
Wow.
Everything's done fresh in-house.
600.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Juan, when you take over a brand as beloved as Buddy's here in Detroit, how do you grow it without losing those parts that Detroiters are protective of? Like, we hear Detroit style is now national.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Buddy's needs to get that credit. How do you grow this in that way?
I'm telling you, man, listen, the first thing is quality and experience, consistency, and that's really what we're focused on right now. You know, it's private equity guys had it the last few years, and I think we need to be bringing it back to the roots. So we have people working here, been 30, 40 years making dough.
Really?
Yeah, so we just need to let
That's
them
pretty
do their
unique,
thing.
don't you
Crazy.
think?
Absolutely, it's crazy.
That tells you something about not just the Buddy's brand, not just the fact that you and your managerial staff treat people right, but the fact that they believe in this product, don't you think?
Yes, sir, absolutely. So that's our goal. Our first and foremost goal is to bring this thing back to its roots, allow our people to do what they do best, and make sure that we take that crown back. You know, undisputed best pizza in the world.
I love that, bro.
That is the goal, man. That's the goal. It's about quality and experience, baby.
It's in a KG. I love that, bro.
No, I do. I mean,
that's because you love pizza.
I
and
do.
don't blame you.
And I'm guilty. Listen, I've often said on air, this is the best pizza on God's green earth. Buddy's has been in my life a very, very long time. And, like, I saw your feature on Channel 4 recently, and I love the fact that, you know, when new companies or new people come in, you know it's all about the money. You know, they want to make some money. Let's be real about it. But you're not really focused on the marketing side. One thing that stuck out to me is you said you want to bring that quality back to the pizza. Can you just elaborate on that? Because I love the fact that you're keeping it original and you want to get back to not just, you know, making Buddy's as popular as it can be, but no, let's get back to the roots of this thing. Let's get back to making the pizza and the people feel good when they eat the pizza.
That's right, man. First things first, right? Like, somebody's coming in, you know, it's not, look, our pizza is not cheap.
No.
Right? And it needs to be great. And if people come in and they have a great pizza, a great experience, it's an absolute value, and they come back. So that's really our focus, man. Our focus is to let the product speak for itself, let the pizza speak for itself.
Yeah,
money will come.
I would add, though, it's not just the product, because when we walked in this door, we're greeted by your manager. When you walk to the counter, you're greeted by a smile and a hello.
Absolutely.
And I know that may not seem like a lot to a lot of people. To me, that's a big deal.
Especially
because I think
in
customer
today's
service these days sucks.
Yeah.
And here, it is priority number one.
Man, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Team's going to be super happy here to say that. And look, you can see it outside,
I
actually.
know.
Walking around, and everybody
Yeah.
sees Buddies, his big smiles. And then,
Yeah.
you know, we're out there trying to, you know, people are always trying to get a free slice. And I get it, man. You walk by.
I would.
You smell it. And, man, it's tough.
You're
You
hooked.
know? Yeah,
I
it's
don't
tough.
care how many hot dogs you got in your belly. You always want another piece
man.
of Buddy's Pizza. Compare it to, because I have this debate with a buddy of mine who lives in
boy.
Chicago.
Oh, boy.
And somebody whose kid just moved to New York. And I said, let's blindfold you, put 3 plates on a table. I'll put a Buddy's up against a Chicago and up against a New York. When you have those debates with people around the country, and I know you do this, what's the battle that you guys have, and how do you defend Buddies the way you should?
You know what it is? It's about home. It's about that home style feeling. People just want to seek the thing that they were talking about when they were 12 and 10 and 8. You know. So for me, it's really about trying to get them to not compete with the thing you remember for going with your uncle back in the 50s or the 60s. I just want to try you something else. This is what I was doing. We were doing here.
Yeah.
Listen, the other thing you'll find is people try Detroit. They know it's lighter. It's a little crispier. It's a little different.
That's right.
Who hates crispy and crunchy cheese?
Yes.
No one.
Yeah, I was going to
Okay.
say, somebody who doesn't like pizza.
Man, listen, that's the secret sauce. Once you try that, it's over, man. You go back home and you're trying to figure out where to buy Buddies and get it shipped.
If you were to get one pizza for your last day,
Wow.
what would
Great
it be?
question.
That's a tough
Great
one. Just
question.
one, man. I'm a Detroiter guy. I like the
That's what
pepper.
Broder's
here.
got.
Yeah.
That's what I like,
It's
man.
delicious.
I'm a
Yes.
Detroiter, and I do it with the vinaigrette, man. The guys taught me that here. Little
I'm trying that, by the way.
I'm telling you, man. It's a problem,
That's,
though.
KG and
if
I
it's
will
coming
try it
from the
live.
CEO, I mean, that's pretty big.
Bro, you
That's
gotta
pretty big
You
news.
got to do it for science.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For science.
For
So,
science.
I would also remind people, you know, I've had this salad, which is fantastic.
Yup.
Okay, you get really good salads, but you're more than pizza. You have branched out
right.
because I've had a burger here
That's
before,
right, yeah.
and it's really good.
Hey, man, I'm
like
glad
it's
you-
underrated.
It is.
Why branch into that realm when you're so perfect in the other?
Listen, I actually think that's one of the things we're taking a look at, right? Again,
Okay.
first things first, the pizza has
Sure.
to be the hero. And
Absolutely.
we have to have something called a veto vote. You know what I mean? When you're like, I want pizza, but maybe somebody in the family doesn't necessarily want pizza, no problem, we got you.
Oh, I
We
got
do
you.
the salad, we
Yeah.
could do a burger, we could do, hoagies, we could do all kinds of stuff. The tenders, I don't know if you guys have tried the tenders.
I have not,
No,
but I've
I
had the
haven't.
onion rings, and the onion rings are boss.
Yeah, man, you might not want to try the tenders, man. It's over.
Really?
Yeah, it's over. It'll ruin you.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm telling you,
just saying.
KG's in, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I'm in
I mean,
on everything.
Listen, we're looking for food testers, man.
Okay, hey, hook me up, man. I
Sign me
got
up.
you.
You've come to the right place.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I
how
mean,
about
have you seen this man without a T-shirt?
Hey, man. Don't let them hate on you, man.
No, I'm eating good. I got a good wife at home. That's all that means, man.
How about this one? We had a super chat in our live stream from Freddie Felt 313. He
Shout
says,
out.
I buy a weekly frozen Buddies at the Meyer in Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just a restaurant story now. Although you have 20 locations, you've expanded into frozen, and the reviews are really high. What coming from the retail side of things, you've had a long history in retail operations. What did you say about the Buddies brand? And we'll get to, there's a play with Javi Baez
Yeah,
here.
he was thrown out at the plate. It was a hell of a throw by Jordan Walker.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was a single to right. Baez originally singled, moved to second on a stolen base, tried to score. I would have tried to score too.
Yeah.
I mean, you've
I'm
got
not
to
mad
be.
at it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it either, but it's clearly out. It's the
Yeah.
right call at home plate. You're not challenging that. It's a hell of a throw.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was a good enough throw. Anyway, go ahead, Juan. On the
listen,
frozen pizza that
how
you can buy in
dare
the
we
store.
not introduce our pizza to everyone on earth and everybody in the U.S., So we're trying to do the best frozen Detroit-style pizza we can make. Look, it's really tough to make it taste exactly like these guys make it taste, 40 years of experience in the back,
Yeah.
the perfection of the dough and everything by hand. And we will do, I believe we have the best frozen Detroit-style pizza in the world. We get a lot of feedback. We're not done yet. We're still improving. There's a lot of things we're tweaking with the sauce. But I'm glad to hear someone in Indianapolis got it. My family, I have family in Florida, and that's how they eat Buddy's Pizza. They love it.
Will you do me a favor? Can you come back a little bit later on in the game?
Absolutely.
Because
Yes,
I know
sir.
you're busy. We appreciate some time today. Thanks for hosting us. We appreciate it. You guys are very gracious.
Thanks so much, guys. Really
You
appreciate
bet.
you.
Thank you,
Juan
Juan.
Ramos, who is the man in charge of this wonderful facility here, Buddies in downtown Detroit. So in the meantime, Detroit gets cut down at the plate. I think it's the right play. Just because it's out doesn't make it the wrong play.
No, not at all.
I think it's the right play, but kudos to St. Louis, especially Jordan Walker in right field, who's been one of their young guns for a long time.
Man, you got to make that. Joey Corey, you have to make that call to
For
send
sure.
Baez. I hate to bring it up, but your 3-hole hitters up next is Kerry Carpenter. You can't expect him to put the ball in play right now, so you got to take the chance with Baez running.
Yeah.
Especially early in the game, right?
No, of course.
Well, I got no problem with early in the game. I don't know if you would know this better than I did since you played at a much higher level than I did. I don't think, as a first base or a third base coach, I'm contemplating whether Kerry Carpenter's going to be able to do the job or not. He's the 3 hitter.
You're right.
If he's the 3 hitter,
has to do
he
the job.
should be able to do the job.
Yeah.
I think it's just because there's 2 outs. He's running on contact no matter what. He's running on a swing. He's running on contact. St. Louis got to make the right play. They've got to make a good play. We've seen it time and time again where guys are throwing the ball wide. It's like golf. You think guys make 6-foot putts. They don't. They make them at a 64% clip. Right field, Jordan Walker's got to make the right play. Meanwhile, St. Louis then steps up. Leadoff man is aboard.
Yeah. And it was the perfect play, the perfect throw. It's hard from a right fielder to home plate to then tag a runner coming from third.
Yeah.
You got to make that chance at face value. I do think there was a little something extra that went through the third baseman's coach mind that's like, we don't know if the next batter is going to make contact. This is our chance to get a run. Otherwise, he gets a new count to start the next inning.
Yeah, and I mean, it's mostly in the Tigers' MO. They do like to put pressure on teams when they do get on the base path. So I'm not really mad at the
He's
strategy.
aggressive.
Yeah,
he's got the loosest left arm.
Yeah, right.
Detroit.
But that's a good point. I mean, they put a lot of pressure on teams. And look, pressure on teams is not stolen bases.
No.
Pressure on teams is first to third, taking the extra base on a hit, waiting for a team, getting that secondary lead at third base, whereas we're in Arizona, Kevin McGonigal got, doubled up on a line drive to first because he took the extra step. You're supposed to do that. At least I was always taught that, and most managers will teach you that. That's just kind of the way it works.
Yeah.
And
was it in San Diego? McGonigal was on second, and he did make the right read on that blooper.
Yes, and scored, and everybody loved the aggressiveness on Cora.
Yeah. So there's a balance to it. It's early in the season. They're figuring out their identity, but I don't think it's going to change much from last year, where they are going to be trying to put that pressure on them.
And I don't want it to. I mean, this is who they are.
Can't.
If we feel, and look, I'm not going to get too overblown with the power. Last year, they were top 11 in slug. They were top 10 in homers.
Right. A lot of that in the first 100 games, but
that's an excellent point.
Continue,
You're 100% right. But this team was aggressive on the base paths. It's a big reason why they jumped out to the start that they did.
Yeah, it's crazy they do it without stealing bags,
Yeah, they don't have a guy that makes you think twice.
No, they don't have a burner.
But to be successful at it, it's not just what you do once you're on the base path. It's when you get base runners, what types of at-bats are the hitters having? You want to get it to a count where you're expecting an off-speed pitch. You're expecting McGreevy to throw a curveball where that allows the runner on first base to take a really aggressive secondary, or to see a ball in the dirt and try to take that extra base. There are so many levels to what this Detroit Tigers team's trying to do, combining analytics with the tradition of the game. It seems to me, Shep, it's the perfect team for A.J. Hinch. Like I think he's one of the best managers in baseball, but I also think it's a perfect marriage of the type of team with the manager. Does that make sense?
I don't think there's any question he's one of the best managers in baseball.
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant. I really do. I do wonder, because let's face it, he's had a say in the construction of this lineup.
No,
too.
absolutely.
Okay? This is not all just Scott Harris. If you don't think they talk on a regular basis, I would say daily, about certain things. So he also has to own part of that.
Yeah.
It's not just Scott Harris.
Yeah.
Scott Harris can own the draft picks, and because he and his scouts have talked about that, and managers don't get that opportunity as much, although I know for a fact A.J. Hinch wanted Zach Neto. This is the way this team is built. He almost embraces the fact that he's got so many movable parts. And to me, this was my debate with him all the time, but it was a fun debate, right?
Yeah.
I like everyday players.
Of course.
I want to fill out the lineup every day. I know I'm going to have Ryan at second base. I'm going to have Broder at short. I'm going to have KG at third every single day.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do you think that's the goal?
I don't know.
I
I really don't.
$1 million question.
I would hope it would be the goal.
Yeah.
But what has given us an indication that it is? Green's in left, okay, no problem. You're going to see Max Clark at some point this year.
Yeah.
I would guess sometime in June, unless Parker Meadows completely falls off the face of the earth and Clark continues to tear up Toledo, then you might see it. I could see that, right? Kevin McGonigal. he's going to be an everyday player. I hope Colt Keith becomes an everyday player. Torkelson's an everyday player. Dingler, for as much as a catcher, could be an everyday player. Yeah, you probably get that with those guys.
Yeah.
When Bryce Rayner is better and Max Anderson is ready, then suddenly you do. You have those everyday guys.
So their goal is for those young guys to be the everyday player.
I would hope so.
Draft and develop.
In the short term, in the current day, they're relying on A.J. Hinch to be that extra weapon, that
buffer.
extra player,
Yep.
where his strategy, how he sees the game, gets the opposing pitcher out 1 inning early, or whatever it is that he's trying to.
Okay, but we all know that, right?
Yeah.
We all know that
Yeah.
about him. And then the other day, Mize has got 93 pitches through 6. He's got 9 punch-outs. And everybody is like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why are you taking him out? And if you are going to take him out, why is Drew Anderson coming in and not Kyle Finnegan? Because that's what I thought. I thought, I got no problem with taking him out. Because
Right.
last
Right.
year, he only threw 93 pitches or more 4 times.
Right.
All right? And it is his first start.
Yeah.
But I thought it was set up where you got Finnegan, I don't care, Vester Jansen, and then Vester Jansen.
Right. Well, you said earlier, A.J. Hinch doesn't have wasted motion. Everything that he does normally has a rhyme or reason to it.
He's got a purpose.
And mostly, I think it's probably maybe something that he saw that, maybe his stuff will work better against this said hitter,
Absolutely.
such and such and such.
Yeah.
So, it's part of the game, but that's where you kind of wonder, okay, you want to lean into the youth, and I have no problem with that. A lot of people may even question, are you trying to maybe phase out the Alavila guys and bring in your own, because the mold of this team is starting to change. You're finally starting to see the Scott Harris guys come up. And you do wonder when you don't pay a Scooble and haven't even paid a Riley Green to this point, what is the future outlook, or how do you want to build this roster going forward? But if you have the young
that's
guys.
interesting. That's interesting. I hadn't heard that. Phasing out guys. And Torkelson just had a short hopper, and then he flipped to Valdez, who didn't catch it.
Yeah.
So-
And not to say you phasing them out just for the sake of phasing them out, but
You gotta
maybe
catch
you
that ball, man. You got to catch the ball.
Yeah, maybe
Sorry.
you see something there to where, okay, you look at Riley Green and you say, does he have a ceiling? And if he does have that ceiling, is he close to it? Can he take that next step? Look at that.
What's the next step?
I think he can maybe be another 5 to 10 home run guy, maybe clean up some
46 homers?
I'm around 35 to 40. I think he can hit.
He had 36 last year.
No, and he's great defensively. We already know that.
Yep.
But I think he's somebody that can take his game to another level in terms of efficiency.
Okay.
Batting average, striking out a little bit less, and he's also
Ball in play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I get that.
But
I mean,
maybe
10
you
more
don't
homers.
want to.
10 more homers is a lot. I never envisioned him with 40 bombs.
No, but he
If
has
if
he
he's
has
gonna
the
give me-
kind of power that can get that done. I
Yeah.
mean, he has a silver slugger.
No, you're right.
So no, I just view him as okay. I look at him; he can take that next step. And once again, if this is the organizational philosophy, these are the guys that I'm looking to step up. But is he that guy? I think there's still a question as to whether he is that guy.
Okay.
And Broder, walk us through a play like that where Torkelson on first base obviously doesn't really field it cleanly, but then that flip to Fromber where he also fumbles it.
Yeah.
Like, walk us through that. What does that feel like as a player on the field? What would, like in that moment with everyone watching?
He's a little embarrassed right now, but the problem was his first reaction to a ball going hit on the ground to the right side wasn't to immediately run over to first base.
There you go.
So once Torque bobbled it, he's a little late getting over to first, and he still would have beat him, but he's a little late getting over there.
Yeah.
So he doesn't take his perfect banana route. He doesn't chop his feet waiting for Torque to deliver the ball. Everything's chaos at that last possible second. So he took his eye off.
So
the
just
ball.
not
gotta catch
being
it.
ready.
He's
Yeah,
got to catch that.
He's got to catch it.
Yeah, you got to catch it, but just not being prepared, not being ready.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's early, so I mean, it's not going to be something
Right.
that you're going to see. Look, everybody does. Lindor did it. Did you see what happened with Francisco
Right. Yeah,
Lindor the other
everybody
day,
does it, yeah.
where he thought there was 2 outs, he stepped on the bag, could have been a double play. He also was putting on his sliding glove and got picked off first base. Stupidity, right? Laziness. Framber Valdez got caught a little bit. I think he expected Torkelson to pick it and make the play himself. That's why you can't assume.
Yeah, you just got to get over there. You got to get. That's got to be your first reaction, and it's a big play now. He's at 57 pitches, which is 5 more than the average he wants to be at through 4 innings. So
Yeah, what would you like to be at? I've always heard 14 or less.
I've heard 13 or less.
Okay.
So we're right around that same number.
All right.
My high school coach, Jack Sanders, over at Cranbrook Kingswood, he had
Big
us
money.
charting. He had us charting as freshmen and really understanding the percentages. You want to stay down in the zone. You want to get ahead in counts. The basics of pitching. He really locked that into my head. 13 or under. That was always what I tried.
What about first pitch strikes?
You want to be over 80%.
Okay.
80% or up.
Yeah. That makes sense. So that vibes with what Feder preaches on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And by the way, when we talk about first pitch strikes, it's not here's a gopher ball.
No.
Right.
This is trying to get a swing on something. You've got to keep guys off balance, right? Sometimes really good pitches are out of the zone.
Right.
Oh, in fact, some of the best pitches are out of the zone. And with this new ABS, you're going to rely as a pitcher on especially earlier in the game or before they start making those challenges, trying to get that competitive ball, that two-seamer. For Valdez, it's that sinker just off the left side of the plate to a righty, or his curveball that drops just below the black on the right side. There's Feder coming out to talk to Valdez.
He just walked. He walked a guy with 2 outs,
Bases
and the
loaded.
bases are juiced now with 2 away.
Who's coming up to bat? Fermin.
Okay, Freddie Fermin.
Freddie Fermin.
All right.
He's coming up. So Feder's one of the calmest human beings you may ever meet. You may question, like, does he show any energy, any enthusiasm? But he's very thoughtful. He's very analytical, and he knows just what to say to Valdez right now to slow him down. Looks like Dingular's got his hand on his shoulder.
Valdez having a pretty good day so far. I mean, no runs, only 3 hits to this point, and 5 strikeouts. So, like you say, just calm him down a little bit. Just not at the point where you're trying to pull him out the game.
I would guess he's more upset at himself dropping the ball at first than he is the walk.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And he probably hates that he gave up a walk too, but he's more upset.
Yeah, because
at
he should be
dropping
out of the
ball.
inning.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing in this inning, he started off pretty good. I mean, he had 2 strikeouts. You know, his off speed, his curveball are working really good today.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Bases loaded, we can get out of this.
Yep.
And this is a guy, fortunately, and you see a first pitch swing with bases loaded. Valdez is trying to get contact early in the at-bat. He's trying to get a ground ball here. You worry about him less, hitters hitting the ball out of the ballpark. But Shep, KG, Ryan, we talked at the beginning. You asked us when we were having technical difficulties, why isn't Colt Keith in the lineup? And it took us a second. It took me a second to figure it out. It's got to be for defense, right?
I would think so. I mean, Framber Valdez is one of the best ground ball pitchers in Major League Baseball. And that's what he relies on, obviously because of his sinker, okay, primarily. So guys are beating that into the ground on a regular basis, and you just want to have good gloves out there. Ironically enough, they have an error, and it's his error.
Hop up.
This is golf to left, shallow left, green no problem. So he's under it. So he strands the bases loaded. So that's a huge deal for Framber Valdez right now.
Absolutely.
Right?
Through 4 here, but 63 pitches to this point, still looking good. I think we'll see him in the 7th, boys.
So let me ask you guys this, and Broder primarily. How many pitches early in a season? So this is his 2nd start, as we know.
Yeah.
How many pitches are enough? Like, what's the limitation? I know it depends pitcher to pitcher.
Right.
But
Situation
you're
too.
building things up as you move forward.
Yeah.
What would you expect from him today?
I'd expect him to be, mid-80s, maybe get into the 90s. I forget how many he had in his first start, but these first 3-4 starts, you probably, you want to see 70 to 80 pitches in his first start. 75 to 85 in his next start, 80 to 90, and then it's all right. Let's get to triple digits, which it seems that's the moment he'll take everybody out.
He threw 83 in his first.
He threw 83. Yeah, so I'd expect it to be around 90.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
And that's with everything being equal. Depending on the situation late in the game, there's a difference between a pitch in the first inning and a competitive pitch later in the game. There's more toll it takes on your body. Throwing those pitches with conviction, more high-pressure pitching, it affects you differently.
Well, that depends, too, on who he's going to get in the lineup.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's, whether we like it or not, that's what a lot of managers do. I think that's the reason Casey Mize was pulled the other night, too.
Yeah.
Okay, A.J. Hinch does not want to see certain pitchers, Mize specifically, eventually it'll be Reese Olson. Certain guys face the lineup a 3rd time.
Yeah.
Okay? Or certain parts of the lineup.
Yeah.
A 3rd time.
Especially those guys who, if Casey Mize, although his splitter was pretty disgusting in his first start, if you hang a splitter, if you hang Casey Mize trying to win at the top of the strike zone. If he misses, then we're talking about giving up home runs.
Right.
And you don't want to give up 2-3-run home runs. It's hard. One phrase I always learned, especially when I was at Michigan under Rich Maloney, as a soft-throwing lefty who gave up a lot of solo home runs, he was like, solo home runs don't beat you.
Right.
They aren't supposed to beat you. We saw
2-run homers, 3-run homers beat you.
Yeah, we saw that example in Arizona. Skubal gives up 1,
Right.
and it beats him. But normally, solo home runs aren't supposed to beat you.
Well, I would also say power pitchers are going to give up home runs.
Yeah.
No,
because
for sure.
they throw more fastballs.
You're in the
They're
zone.
around the plate more,
Yeah.
and guys are sitting on those more than
Absolutely.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skubal's going to challenge Corbin Carroll with 99 up in the zone.
Absolutely.
Every time. And
Saw it
you
in
don't
the last
blame
game.
him for that, and there was nobody on base.
Yeah, and let's face it, that's just the 6th home run he's allowed by a lefty in his career.
Right.
In his career.
So you're not expecting that.
Yeah. All right, so it's Kerry Carpenter. Kerry Carpenter's going to lead off for the Tigers here in the 4th. I heard somebody say we're going to see him go 7. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. If he's got high leverage situations, I don't know if you'll see Framber Valdez go 3 more innings.
No, which is true. But
let's hope so. But you're going to have Kerry Carpenter.
You like the movement with his pitches. I mean, he's striking guys out to this point. You do like what you see, but it is situation dependent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I'm not a Kerry Carpenter just looked at strike 3. I'm not a big. I don't believe in you got to be the strikeout guy.
No.
I want strikeouts from my bullpen, from my back end of my bullpen. My starters, I don't give a crap.
No, but it
If,
helps.
if you get a ground ball to short,
No.
that's good. I want you to conserve pitches because I want my starters to go deeper.
No, for sure. But when your bullpen has been notoriously known for not a lot of swing and miss, it does help when you do have those
Right.
guys in the starting rotation that can go and fan guys. I mean, look at the wonders
except for this year.
Skubal does for the team. Yeah, except for this year.
This year with Jansen and
Yeah,
Finnegan
rough
and
start for
Vest,
him.
those are swing and miss guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jansen still, we got to see more of it because he ain't looked too good in his first outing. But
He's
no,
gonna be
no.
fine.
Yeah, I think he's
No,
good.
he
He's
looked
a
good in
veteran.
his first. He didn't look good in his second.
Well, true.
Yeah.
But he's a veteran. You expect him to figure it out.
So Carpenter struck out. Now it's Green and then Dingler in this lineup. The lineup is Kevin McGonigal, the leadoff hitter and third baseman. Then it's Gleyber Torres, who he's got as the DH. And then it's Carpenter, Green, Dingler, McKinstry in his first start. He's in at second base. Torkelson, Meadows, and Baez. The thing that I don't want to say we overlooked, but Kerry Carpenter butchered a play in right field.
Yeah.
That led to the pressure inning, too. So here's what you had. You had butchering a play in right field, and you had a dropped catch at first base by the pitcher. That's what I mean about defense. I don't need you to make Ozzie Smith plays. What I would like is you to make the basic
The
play.
routines. Yeah.
Make the routine plays routinely.
Yeah.
Javi, it was in that it didn't end up hurting him, but the error, the throwing error, when Skubal was on the mound against Arizona, that is a drive from Riley Green into the right field gap.
There we go.
He's definitely got 2. Is he going to keep going?
Oh, no, he's actually going to keep going.
He's going to get 3.
No,
He's that too, yeah.
you
Not
hope
with
to.
that run.
No,
I was open.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's the fact that there's only one out.
No, for sure.
You
But
don't want to
just
do that.
take what you
Yeah.
can get.
And behind him, he's got Dingler coming up to the plate. Dingler, McKinstry, Torque.
All right. Little momentum for the Tigers here.
You have a little more confidence right now maybe in Dingler and McKinstry putting the ball in play. Now let's see if one of them can put it to the right side of the field, primarily in the outfield.
Yeah.
I really like what
looking
I've been
for
seeing
Dingler.
out of Dingler, Shep.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I do too.
you've looked too much into him. He reminds me of old Jason Kendall from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Sure.
Really athletic
I agree
catcher.
with that one. That's a good
He'll
assessment.
steal a couple
Yeah.
bases, hit 15 to 20.
Kendall was faster. You're right.
He had
Yeah.
a couple All-Star
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
appearances.
Yeah.
I think Dingler's got a little higher ceiling than that.
Yeah.
But he's not just a catcher behind the plate, working the staff, preparing a staff. He's actually someone who deserves airtime on offense.
That is
As
gone.
he may have just knocked it out of the
There's the
park.
second home run of the year.
Right, baby.
Second home run for the
Two.
Tigers this season.
And it's the second one from Dingler.
Yep. He's the only one who's got it.
The only home runs for the Tigers.
And that's why
There's the right-handed power we were talking about.
exit
There it
velocity
is.
of 105.
Yep.
Wow.
Beautiful. And McGreevy is a guy, you knew he was going to come in the zone a lot coming into this game. Doesn't really walk guys. So you needed guys to step up, make solid contact, and you see Dingler right there with a huge hit.
A soft throwing hitter. He left one right over the plate.
Yeah.
Dingler's got that pretty sweet, compact yet uppercut swing.
Yeah. Wow, they needed that.
Yeah, I really like his approach. He's a more advanced hitter than I thought he would be, especially last year, but already into this season. I mean, he seems like he's a guy who is doesn't rush his swing and makes the proper adjustments.
Yeah, I'm more impressed or more excited about the 285 average than the 15 home runs.
Big fact.
Like, it's just he has a good feel with the bat, which you would think all catchers should be like have the best eye in the batter's box because it's not always the case.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah, we've had plenty of catchers, the Gerald Lairds of the world,
Right.
even Alex Avila at his young career. He was a liability hitting, great defensive catchers, but a liability on offense.
For the most part, he was an all-star one year.
Right.
Silver Slugger, I believe. Yeah.
Dingler has potential to do both.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
who's
a
the last
almost.
catcher who did? I mean, I guess you'd say Pudge.
Yeah.
Right. Before that, it was probably Lance Parrish.
Going back a ways, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bill Freehan.
Yeah, and Freehan, he didn't hit for average either. I mean, he was a great defensive player.
Yeah.
I've made that argument a number of times. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame when you look at what he did defensively, but offensively is where he pales. Lance Parrish did both. Okay, ask Ricky Henderson about Lance Parrish. Lance Parrish had good numbers against Ricky Henderson.
Best Tigers
Not many
catcher,
people-
best
yeah.
catcher in Tigers history. Or are those two in it?
I never saw Mickey Cochran.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be Mickey Cochran, considering he's a Hall of Famer. But I look, if you told me you got to have Bill Freehan, I wouldn't say no. If you told me you had to have Lance Parrish, I sure wouldn't snub my nose at that either.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they're fantastic players.
McKinstry full account right here.
Now, which is a more egregious snubbing? How about this? Bill Freehan in the Baseball Hall of Fame, Lou Whitaker in the Baseball Hall of Fame, or Braylon Edwards in the College Football Hall of Fame.
That would need to be studied as well.
That doesn't make any sense.
At all.
Sweet Lou's got to get it.
Probably Braylon.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's a great.
But Lou Whitaker's a close second because
Yeah.
Lou Whitaker belongs there. By the way, Zach McKinstry singled through the right side.
Let's go.
So I don't know how many people now are going, where the hell's Cole Keith?
Right.
But anyway, I mean, this is the game you play in baseball on a regular basis.
Yeah, A.J. Hinch is going to try to, when there's a righty out of the Cardinals bullpen who's looking pretty good, he's going to slide Cole Keith right into that lineup, force him to bring in a lefty.
Dead on.
Yeah. He's waiting to throw their best hitter, or their best left-handed.
Well said.
Yep. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, one man on.
One of their
one
top
out.
two left-handed bats right now.
One man on, one away, a 1-0 count to Spencer Torkelson. Torkelson 0 for 1 today. Tigers overall with 6 hits on the day. Baez with 1, McKinstry, Dingler with the 2-run bomb, Green who set the table, Carpenter's got a hit, and Gleyber Torres has a hit.
That second run's important, Shep.
Yeah,
No, absolutely it is.
there's no doubt.
That's why Riley Green. Normally, you don't want to be the first or third out at third base. They do have one out, but Green knew they got to get this extra run across, and it worked out.
Well, what did we say? We
two.
said you're not going to third with 1 away. You're not going to third and making it out there.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't make any sense. And then Dingler hits the 2-run bomb. It's a beautiful timing, and it's the right way to play baseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you hope Framber comes out, has a breath, has taken a breath in between innings, and can just go get maybe a 6-7 pitch inning.
So I'd love an add-on run here. I'd love to see
some
McKinstry be on the run. I would put him on the move.
Yeah, Tigers one of the best teams at first to third.
Yeah.
But I would put him on the move. I would have him steal a bag. I mean, it's a 2-1 count, right? Broder, usually it screams fastball, not necessarily. It could be something different. But if I'm McKinstry,
Any hit and run opportunity.
and he's got a good lead, and Torkelson follows it away down the left field line.
and
It's
McGreevy
now
has checked
two-
on him a couple times.
And now
too.
it's 2-2.
Now I'm definitely stealing.
Yeah.
Because?
You want to take away the double play chances, and even if he gets a fastball or in a 2-2 count, you're probably getting something off speed. although he seemed to turn on that sinker.
You do have a chance for a strike him out, throw him out, double play, though. That's the concern, and there's the swing and a miss. That was a nice slider. Oh, that was a changeup. Changeup, okay. That had a lot of movement for a changeup.
That did.
And big hack.
That had a slider look to it, didn't it?
It went glove side, too.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Right.
I thought Skubal was one of the, at least the more public pitchers to talk about his changeup grip and how he throws it is a little different than most pitchers throwing traditional circle changes. But that one from McGreevy seemed to cut too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get too hyperbolic here. I like Parker Meadows.
I do
stop.
too.
I do. My expectations, we were talking with a lot of folks earlier today about expectations. My expectations for him are not super high.
Okay.
Because I love him defensively.
Yeah.
But if he continues to struggle, and he's batting about $188 right now, okay, 0 for 1 today. If he continues to struggle, they will not hesitate to make the call to Toledo. Now, would they bring up Wenzel Perez? I suppose they could.
Yeah.
If Max Clark continues to pour it on, he deserves some attention up here.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to make that move this early. Maybe you opt to go with somebody that you've brought up before that's been able to produce. He has a little bit more of a veteran eye. But I don't know if Max is showing out. This team doesn't seem to be afraid to lean into their younger guys. So it's a good conundrum to have. I would say.
I mean, look, for me, it's about what are you asking me to do? You're asking me to go down to the minors. You're asking me to prove myself. Pittsburgh brought up Connor Griffin. He went down there and he raked.
Yeah.
This St. Louis team, they took J.J. Weatherholt north with them. He's not playing today, but he should play in the series, right? If Max Clark is kicking ass in Toledo, and that's what you asked him to do to work on certain things, and I'm not saying right now, so please don't take it out of context, but here's a guy he's hitting 300 down there.
Yeah.
What is it what more do you need to see from him? And considering he was one of the last cuts, I would guess he's at least in your consciousness, right?
Mainly I just need to see consistency. I need to see, you put it together game in and game out. And I know that's easier said than done.
Yeah,
he's not and he's not going to get it done every single time at the plate. But you do want a more thorough you want a more thorough sample size of, okay, I see he's handling AAA pitching pretty well. He's done it for a long enough stretch as a younger guy. Now I'll bring him up to the big club and see what we can do. But I have a guy in Wenzel Perez that, when we've brought him up in this spot before, he's been able to produce. And he seemed to be getting his legs down there in AAA now, but he is somebody that's done it. So I would opt for that, me personally.
Okay. Yeah, he's not hitting as well as Max Clark at Toledo, but I get your point. People couldn't believe that he didn't make the team on a spring training. He had $190.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Okay? If you're going to sit there and ridicule Parker Meadows, who had a better batting average, and maybe that's kind of old school by me to look at batting average, but Wenzel Perez was not hitting with power and he wasn't getting on base.
Yeah, and he didn't have very great at bats. Like McGonigal, we saw his batting average dip in spring training, but it wasn't because he was having worse at bats. Pitchers made an adjustment to him. Right. He was still working the count. He still had a good feel for what he wanted to do. So it wasn't about any one specific thing he was trying to work on. They see the future in him. He's got the tools that will continue to develop, but as long as they can trust that he's going to go up there every at bat and put a good at bat together, like we saw in the Padres series. We've seen most of his at bats that way. There's a reason he's leading off. There's a reason they moved him up so early.
Yeah, I love the batting eye, and I love the bat to ball contact from him. That's what I'm expecting from Kevin McGonigal. I'm not expecting him to win a batting title this year, but I think as long as he's putting the ball in play and putting pressure on the defense, I think he's going to be really, really good. Yeah. Now, as far as Wenzel Perez, that conversation, and here's a guy who hit 244 a year ago.
Yeah.
On-base percentage is about 300.
Decent moments in the playoffs as well.
Decent moments. I am not going to stomp up and down, hold my breath like a child, and say if he doesn't come up, I'm going to be upset.
No,
if they brought up Max Clark, who's a much better center fielder.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, oh, look, did you see that play in spring training? Yeah, he was in left field, and I'm not making excuses for him. It was a bad play, period. But, we've seen a lot of people make some bad plays in spring training and still go north
Yeah.
of teams.
Right.
He's going to be the future of this franchise in center field. McGonagall's the future of this franchise on the infield. I would have no problem bringing him up within the next month or so.
No.
If he continues to play well and somebody opens that door for him at the major league.
No, absolutely. And his process has been a little bit slower than McGonagall, which is why I said, if I'm the Tigers, I just want to see a little bit longer of a sample size. But at least we do have a guy in Winsell that that you can rely on for the most part. But
not great
I do
defensively.
No,
not great
no.
defensively.
But I do agree with you. If they, make that decision and feel like Max is ready, then I'm all for it. Because you want to lean into the future anyway. The potential that this kid has is through the roof, but you need to get him as many MLB reps as you can get him. And if you want to take some chances early in the season, I think this is probably the best time to do it, before, things start to really, really kick up. But, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I look at this. I want the best players.
Yeah, of course.
Okay?
Of course.
I don't care if they hit left or right. Yeah. I don't care if they're black or white. I don't care if they got a lot of experience or not. I want guys who can help win games.
No, absolutely.
Period.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to move Max Clark along just because I want to get a look at him. The only reason I bring him up, and only one reason, he helps me win baseball games. If I don't think he can, I don't care.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me one bit that, now's the perfect time to bring him up because he's a young player and he's got to get a taste of the major leagues. That wouldn't be my philosophy. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm right. That wouldn't be my philosophy.
No, I tend to agree with you. Like, if he can help you win games, that's fine. But a lot of these guys that they have the expectations at the major league level, they're in AAA for a specific reason. And I don't know the exact reason for Max Clark. I'd like to think he's got to now learn how to adjust to pitchers adjusting to him too, which they've committed to. They haven't financially committed to McGonagall yet. We might talk about that as the stream goes on. They're about to. They did to Colt Keith because their superpowers are making adjustments. And they believe that Michael Broder and the hitting staff can help them develop the tools even more at the major league level. But they're not going to bring them up if they think these major league pitchers are just going to eat them up after 2-3 at-bats. It's not going to happen. So they need that trust. The trust is there for him on defense. It's one of the main reasons they selected him. And he does have a good feel for the strike zone. But a feel for the strike zone and plate discipline is different than being able to make adjustments at the highest level.
100%. That's so well said. I've got a friend who is a major league scout. And I remember when the Tigers drafted Max Clark, I called him. And because I wanted Wyatt Langford. I watched Wyatt Langford play at Florida a lot. He was available. I thought he was going to be literally almost a plug-and-play guy. We use that term all the time in football, but I really thought Wyatt Langford was going to be a plug-and-play guy as Valdez gets through the fifth nicely. Yep. No scratch for St. Louis, so it's 2-0. He said, Shep, you're going to love Max Clark. He's an absolute gamer. He's brilliant defensively, and he will eventually hit with power, and he's going to steal you bases. Is he a five-tool guy? No. Okay. There's very few of those guys, right? I mean, we're talking Ken Griffey Jr. is a five-tool guy.
The kid.
Max Clark is not a five-tool guy, but he eventually will hit with some power. He's going to swipe you some bags, and he's going to put the bat on the ball.
He's a great kid.
He is a great.
Not
kid.
that
no, he really
plays
is.
on the field, but
he doesn't wear too many chains, Broder.
No,
Too many chains.
The traditionalist in me, I would like to see a little less, but also I've changed. You see in Allen Park, the Dan Campbell era, allowing guys like Kelvin Shepard on the coaching staff and players
With
like
the
Jamal
KG dreads.
Williams, to come in. You want to come in and just be yourself. That's it. You get the best out of players, the best out of coaches when they can be themselves. So if that's 4 chains, whatever. He's actually a good kid. People who don't really know, they just see that and they're like, "Oh, who's this flashy dude with bling?"
Chat.
It is so interesting. By the way,
likes chains,
I
okay?
spoke too early. Framber Valdez is not through 5. I thought they were through, but it's 2-2 with 1 away and the base is clear. And now there's a ground ball to third. McGonagall on the charge, but it's a foul ball. Anyway.
Nice play, though.
Oh, I thought it was a foul ball. Didn't he go like that? Didn't he go foul ball?
You punched him out.
That was a good play.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
On
Okay.
the run,
Look at
one
this.
hopper.
Yep. It's fair.
Yeah,
Fair
that is a
ball.
fair ball. Yep, the umpire's going like this.
Let's go.
Anyway,
Athlete.
when you
Nice
look
play.
at it, I was thinking about this. the chains thing, it's just a convenient way to be upset about somebody who made an error in left field.
No, of course.
I mean, Deion Sanders wears them, and everybody thinks that's dope, man. How cool does he look? Max Clark wears them, and people are like, you shouldn't be able to wear that yet because you're not young enough, or you haven't proven yourself enough.
Yeah, you're just being flashy.
Right.
Give me a break, man. I mean, it's not like the kid is out there tooting his own horn.
No.
He chose to spend his money on that. Have you ever been on an NBA plane where their earrings cost more
Not many
than the
people have.
car you drive? Okay, so I mean, let's be real here. I mean, you're nitpicking on a kid.
No,
it's not a big deal.
Yeah, man, I'm just poking fun at some of those certain people in the chat. But
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's not
People-
you. I know.
It's not always an easy transition from center to left field, from center to right field. It is completely different.
It is
the
really-
ball off the bat. Just because they're
Yeah.
major league players or in the minor leagues doesn't mean it's that easy. He made a mistake.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Here we go. Valdez, 3-1 count.
So
What?
let's
Two
see.
outs.
Jay Graham says, keep Max Clark in Toledo until we push for the World Series. Keep Max Clark until next year to get Rookie of the Year with McGonigal and next year with Max.
Sounds great. On paper, that sounds great.
I respect your opinion.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think of it that way.
No.
And I don't think any organization should.
No, you
We're
can't
gonna
have
hold a
set
guy
it
back
plans.
so he can be Rookie of the Year. Bullcrap. Go let him compete each for Rookie of the Year. I'm
Right.
okay with that. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, this is a
he's
day-
ready to play. Let him play.
This is a day-to-day process. We know that. It's not, they don't have laid plans. Okay, we're going to wait the whole year and then bring him up next year because it feels right. No, it all depends on how the season goes. And, they're pretty good at knowing when to make those calls. So,
Oh, wow.
as
Buddies
we
is
tried the
looking it
chicken tenders here
Oh,
from Buddies.
wow.
Oh, wow, what we got?
Pizza, fries.
Those are money.
Big
Yeah.
shout out to Buddies, man.
Oh.
They are more than gracious, helping
Listen.
the boys out.
Those are absolutely golden right there. These chicken tenders are the real deal.
You got to hear Terry. Terry Foster tells a funny story at the. We'll let him tell it, but he had a experience with the chicken tenders at the Detroit airport, at the Buddies at the Detroit airport. Pretty funny story he's got.
Share.
He said he walked in there, and I think he was recognized by some people, but he was talking. Terry, he talks to everyone he's around. He was talking to some people up at the bar, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna have the chicken tender salad. And he said the place erupted. He said they were like, what you're coming to Buddies? You got to get pizza.
Yeah.
But he knew they got chicken tenders, and they're elite.
They are elite.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good call. I'm going to have some with the salad just for Terry, just after that story.
Thomas Roro in the chat. Game 7, we have two home runs as a team, both by Dingler, yet our hitting coach keeps his job, not to mention he was the same guy behind the epic collapse last year.
Y'all watch out now because hitting coaches can be a little overrated, and I know if one guy is going to go about that, it's definitely going to be Shep. Because we've talked about that too. People putting a lot of stock in hitting coaches, and not to say that they serve no purpose at all, but
Yeah.
it's not as much as the fans may make it out to be.
Yeah, hitting coaches, here's what the Tigers do. The Tigers have a hitting meeting before batting practice every single day. And it's probably at a max 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're going over the various pitchers that they have and the approach to those pitchers. And then there's reinforcement on the iPad during the game when a pitcher is there, okay? And constant adjustments. I say this about pitching coaches, and I say it about hitting coaches. They can't pitch for you, and they can't hit for you. I like Chris Fetter. I think he's fantastic at what he does. How come nobody said anything about Chris Fetter when Jack Flaherty was struggling?
Right.
How come nobody said anything about Chris Fetter when there were problems out of the bullpen last year?
That's a good point.
So it's all about Michael Broder. Yeah, Michael Broder was part of the hitting staff. There were 3 guys. I never thought that worked. I think you have a hitting coach and you have an assistant hitting coach. I think that's enough. I think there can be too many voices.
Yeah.
But I would remind people, especially early in the season, a lot of these guys have their own hitting coaches in the offseason. And when they're doing that, they are communicating with Broder so they are on the same page to try and make sure they are comfortable and know what they're doing about their swing, their mechanics, their footwork, and everything else. So I get the frustration. 2 home runs. I guess I would ask you this. It's not enough for me. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Angels got 10.
Yeah.
Pirates got 9 or 10.
St. Louis got a couple guys with multiple homers.
You want that instead? I want more power. You guys know that, I hope, if you've watched this long enough. I think the Padres are a pretty good team. They got 3 home runs.
Yeah. It shouldn't. We shouldn't be coming up with these.
It's early, man.
It is
very early.
It's early, and we've seen top to bottom. I mean, I'm not gonna say Javi Baez and Parker Meadows have had the perfect at bats. Kerry Carpenter's had a brutal year, but up and down the lineup,
you mean the same guy everybody wanted in every day?
Yeah, that same guy who can't hit lefties.
Right. Yeah. Which the numbers bear that out, bro.
They do. Finally, a feel and the numbers actually intersect. But
Magano sprayed one down the left field line. That's a long run. That'll be a double.
He's going to.
Yeah.
Safe. Let's go.
People
There we
love
go.
this guy.
And you know what, fellas?
What?
Another hit.
You know what else hits like Kevin McGonigal?
What?
Buddy's Pizza. I mean, look at the spread they have prepared for us today.
Wow.
We got the square Detroit
I need
pizza.
that.
Look at the chicken tenders. We got the fries. Shep got a salad. Like, they are treating us well. Look, come out to Buddy's, man. Best pizza in town. Original Detroit-style pizzas.
Get those
Look at
fries in there right there.
Look at those fries. Look at those fries.
Oh.
Amazing.
Hey,
You can
might as
see
well
the
pass
crust.
that box over, big bro. He might as well pass that over here.
Look at that bubble on top.
Man,
Look at that.
Bet you're going to tell. When you pull that apart, you see that cheese just start to stretch.
This is art form. It really is.
it is art.
Do you
It's-
really
it's-
want to
it's
mess that
food
up?
art.
You said what?
You don't want to mess that up, do you?
Oh, no. Well, I do a little bit. I can't lie to you. But McGonigal, man, the legend of McGonigal continues to grow.
I love
Man.
it. I just love his approach. I mean, going the other way with that pitch, brilliant, you know?
Yeah.
You
He's
can put it
not
down either
rolling.
line.
If he tries to pull that ball, that's a roller to second, right? You can tell already he's a really advanced hitter.
He is. I think in the first game, they did an interview with his mom who said he grabbed a bat at 18 months old and took it around everywhere he was. He was always trying to be a Major League Baseball hitter. You can tell he's a player that's worked on his craft, and he's got something special with his eyes.
How do you last to the second round?
I don't know. I don't know. People have question marks about his athleticism. He seems like a pretty good athlete to me.
I agree. He just got thrown out at third base.
Shep, let me ask you
So
something.
that by the way,
I didn't see the play.
So that's a bad play. It's a tapper back to the mound, and he's on the run. You should not be doing that.
Yeah, that can't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
That's okay.
Is it? Would you
It's an aggressive mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
would you chalk that up to like a rookie mistake, or is that kind of just like
I
just
think a lot of guys do
regular
that.
mistake that a lot of guys will
I think
make?
a lot of guys make that mistake.
But in time, he can correct, that type
Yeah.
of base running with experience.
Would you rather have him make that mistake? I wouldn't want him to make it at this juncture of a game and stuff like that.
Right.
But he's being aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay. He's trying to make something happen.
And the team doesn't mind that. Like I said, that's normally a
That is a
strategy
de-
that they
Until it
That
happens
is
over
a
and over
Tigers
again.
strategy.
Right?
Rando Smalls with a super chat, $2. Love the two
Rando.
rooks pushing each other. Right above him, RJ Graham, 6236. I respect everyone on Woodward Sports. Let's go
Appreciate that.
Tigers. And then Freddie Felt 313 with the super chat. Shep dissecting tired rhetoric is poetry in motion. Freddie Felt has got your back, Shep.
I appreciate it. He's the best.
Oh, one more. Kevin Jeffrey. Mick overrated, can't run the bases.
All right, slow down. We will have no Kevin McGonigal
That's so funny.
slander on this stream.
See now, so
Oh, man.
there's been two. I wouldn't. Mistakes might be a little tough, but there are two base running mistakes by McGonigal
Yeah.
in the first 7 games.
Yeah.
And this is not an indictment. I love the kid. I want him at the top of the order. I think he should be here. All that stuff. I feel like every single time you say something negative about a player in Detroit, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, this, you got to preface it by saying, I like him a lot. I think he should be here. But
Shep, you're a hater.
yeah, exactly. But line drive to first the other day,
Yeah.
he takes that secondary lead, doesn't get the best read, he's doubled up. Now this,
Yeah.
a double with 1 out, you're not supposed to run into the out. So live and learn.
No,
okay.
for sure, and it's something that's coachable. You know, he's going to make these kind of mistakes. He's not going to be perfect, ladies and gentlemen. He is still a rookie player, but I'm not mad at the aggressiveness, though. I'm not mad at you trying to make something happen. You just have to be a little bit smarter in the future, and he's going to have plenty of those where he does, get over the third. So, not really worried about it, but it is something to pay attention to.
What if Javier Baez did it?
Then
A little bit different because he's been experienced and he has been known to be a great base runner, make smart decisions.
Javier Baez?
Yeah, something he's known for is having that base awareness to I
It's
don't.
a fair point. It is.
Yeah.
When you say he's experienced, how much experience do you need not to run into and out at third base on a
it's a
tapper
feel
back to the
thing.
mound?
I mean, that you don't need much experience, but
Okay. I think you're afraid to say something negative about a young superstar.
no, he made a mistake.
Yeah.
100%.
Fortunately, he doesn't need coaches to tell him that it was a mistake
Exactly.
either.
Exactly.
He knows.
I think
right.
a lot of times, like you just said, Shep, when we do say something, of criticism toward a young player in Detroit, sometimes that can be, picked up as hate, but it's not really hate.
It's not hate.
It's constructive criticism. That's something that everyone needs.
I love the kid. I mean, I love everything about his approach.
Let me ask you another question.
And
Shep.
I'll be honest with you, I'm really impressed with his defense.
Yeah,
More with
yeah.
his defense than I thought I would be.
That was a tough play to make. On that third base, that hit that went right down the line.
Oh, yeah.
That was a tough
Well,
play
I
to
would
make.
say in the Arizona game, the double play that he started off the backhand down the third base
That was
line
very
is
smooth.
one of the best double plays I've seen in years.
That was a very smooth play.
Opening it a righty, opening that way and throwing back to second base is very difficult.
First of all, with velo. Second of all, right at Torres's chest so he could turn it. That's underrated. The positioning of the baseball on where that second baseman needs it was vital in order for you to turn it. Now, Arenado's not a really fast runner, but all it would take is an extra stretch here or there for him to get on base. And I don't know what's going to happen, but the bottom line is that was an unbelievable play, not just the fielding play of it, but the throw and the accuracy of the throw.
The mechanics of it all have to work out from third baseman to second baseman to first, and it did.
Kerry Carpenter just singles up the middle. That is Murphy's Law. Guy gets thrown out at third base. If he stays at second,
That's a score.
that's a score,
Yep.
right? So that's what everybody thinks.
And he
That's
singled
that's the
off a
breakdown
lefty.
for it.
Yeah, that's the breakdown.
Okay, if
Yeah.
you were a little bit conservative,
Yeah.
now you would have scored. You would have extra run.
That was off a lefty, too. I want to see more of that. He just poked it right up the middle for a single.
It wasn't a big swing, is what
You
you're
don't
saying.
No.
you don't have to crush the ball every time.
That's a line drive swing.
Here's why I'm not worried about him, is because of his attitude. You talk to him for an extended period of time, you recognize he does not get caught up too much in the highs, and he will not let the lows bring him down. And then Riley Green singles
There you go,
up the
Riley.
middle. Yeah. So there's a run driven in for Riley Green.
Carpenter to
It's a
third.
nice inning.
Yep.
There's
Riley
the first.
having a good-
There's the first to
Oh,
third.
we got a
Pretty good
juggle.
game.
They got it, though. Bit of a juggle there.
So you're saying in the last 5 minutes, we've had McGonigal running a base running error. We've had a lefty come in to pitch to Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green, who both came through and delivered on opening day.
Yeah, and I had somebody the other day, Riley Green was pulled in the playoffs. It shows you what kind of confidence managers have in him.
All right.
I said, are you
I
serious?
tell you, we got to stop with this Riley Green hate. Like,
You can't.
people always say,
You can't.
it's because of strikeouts. Okay, I understand the strikeout rate was high. We want him to, dial that back some, but you're
Yeah.
asking him to hit with power.
You're
That
not going to
is-
stop it, Hefe. You
Yeah.
know why? Because of what he said.
Yeah.
It's one thing for you to recognize it. It's another thing for a player to acknowledge it and say it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's where everybody's disdain for the strikeouts, I think, stem from and are exasperated by.
Agreed. And it's funny, you don't see where he comes out this season and says he's making it a priority to work on these things.
Dangler.
Dangler to the right field gap.
No,
that's
that's an
perfect.
out.
Yeah,
oh,
That's an
2
out.
outs.
That's an out.
Oh.
Good swing, though.
Hey, you'll take it. You get an
Dangler
insurance
has
run
looked
in this
very
inning
impressive.
as well. 3-0 Tigers.
You know what? I like that swing.
That was a
I know
nice-
it's an out. Not every good swing is going to be
Right.
a hit.
Right.
All right? That's a good out by Dylan Dingler. Ball's on the outside part of the plate. He stayed within himself. He sprayed it to right center. It's the deepest part of the ballpark. Maybe next time he gets a different type of approach to it. That's a good swing, don't you think?
I agree.
Might have been a home run in some other ballparks.
Yeah, just the approach. It was a line drive swing
It
to
wasn't that deep.
the right field gap. Like for me, I always tried to hit to the opposite field, line drive into the opposite gap. Because then if you trust your hands and you can get your hands around on a fastball that you see early or an off-speed pitch, you're going to pull it anyway.
Yeah.
So why try to pull the ball every time? Try to go hit singles and doubles in the gaps. And if you're strong enough and you got quick enough hands, you're going to hit it out. That's what Dingler looked like in his first 2 home runs. Really compact swing, really quick hands, and no doubters. They were no doubt home runs.
Yeah.
I think Riley could learn about that, learn how to do that.
I think so. I think he already is. Some of my favorite conversations while calling baseball, Aaron Judge, Josh Donaldson in the past, I would always ask really good hitters, where are you trying to hit the ball?
Yeah.
And not one of them says they're trying to pull it.
Yeah.
Their eyesight is the batter's eye to right center, if you're right-handed.
Right.
That's what they're looking to do. Paul Goldschmidt had that conversation with him one time.
Yeah.
Center to right center, because of what you just said.
You can adjust. You can adjust off of whatever pitch mix the pitcher has that day. If you're thinking opposite field, you're letting the ball get deeper, which allows you, if you see the pitch you want, you can go out and get it. We see Colt Keith implementing some of that this year. He's changed his swing a little bit, but his bat speed has increased like 3.5 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And although he's not lifting the ball, we see him driving the ball. We see him hitting it hard on the ground. He'll eventually make the adjustment to get a little more lift under it. But right now, I love his compact swing. He kind of stands upright, and it's very quiet, but he sees his pitch, and he's got a good feel for the zone, sees his pitch, and just pushes it.
Rando Smalls gave us a little education in the chat. He said it's Riley Green's 500th career hit.
Oh, come on.
So
Shout
good
out.
for him.
Shout
All
out
right.
to Riley.
So we're seeing a little bit of history. Nice play by McGonigal.
Shout out Terry Foster.
That's a really tough hop, and McGonigal keeps it in front, plays it off his chest, throws a nice strike to first, 1 up, 1 down here in the St. Louis 6th. Okay,
And you can
good
definitely
stuff.
tell he has the arm strength to play third base.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, he has that.
Yep.
So let me ask you guys this. Do you think people would be as outraged or as focused on Riley Green if we went in knowing or expecting he's going to be our 4th or our 5th best player? Not our best player, our best hitter.
I think that is a part of it because last year he was the best hitter on your team, 100%. And he still is now this year, but he does have, competition in terms of prospects that are coming up. Like Riley was a highly touted prospect, but McGonigal is a highly touted prospect.
The Tigers have never in the history of their franchise, a higher prospect than Kevin McGonigal.
Yeah.
Riley Green never got to 2. Verlander never got to 2.
And there was
Scooble never
arguments-
got to 2.
And arguments that he should have been 1.
McGonigal's great.
Connor Griffin's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, but less about
I'm talking about in Major League Baseball,
Yeah,
not within the franchise.
the internal, the competition on the team from the outside's perspective. Like Riley Green and Torque they're the guys that have supposed to have been our best hitters over the last couple of years, even as they're developing. If they didn't have that tag on them, and Riley Green had the year he did last year, wouldn't we all be saying, "Oh man, our 4th or our 5th best hitter has this amount of home run, like he's this player"? We don't care as much about the strikeouts.
I think it's okay that he's your best player. What's wrong with it?
Really? Okay.
If my best player is going yard 36 times, driving in 111, has a silver slugger, and should have been a Gold Glove 2 years ago.
Right.
I like Stephen Kwan. Don't get me wrong, but he won the fielding Bible. Riley Green won the fielding Bible in left field. He should have been a Gold Glover. So, excuse me if I choose to have my own path there. What's wrong with that? I have no issue with it.
Nothing necessarily, but they haven't done a I would say, great job of putting stuff around Riley Green. If you're going to make him your best player, I don't think that's a problem. He is one of the best outfielders in the AL. He can play both ways. You really like a lot of things that he brings to the table. But if he's going to be your 1A, like that's your guy, you got to put more around him to protect him. And they haven't done a good job of that. And I get you're leaning in the youth right now. There's going to be bumps in the road, but these are the guys that you chose to roll with. So that's why I think a lot of fans, they put that pressure on Riley Green because the organization did kind of single him out, and he's been the leader. I mean, he's been your leader in terms of hits over the last couple years. He is somebody that can provide you home runs. Like you said, he does it all, literally. He does it all. But if that's going to be your best player, I just think you need to improve the team in other areas.
Who's a better left fielder?
than
baseball.
Riley Green.
Who's a better left fielder than Riley Green? Offensively and defense. Offensively, it's Jordan Alvarez, right? Offensively, defensively, is it Ian Happ?
Nah.
Now he's not their best player either. I think is your point. Your point is, if he's your second or your third or your fourth, that's one thing. But that means in order for him to be your second or your third or your fourth, you have to have Aaron Judge.
Right.
You have to have, I mean, not even Alex Bregman, okay? I mean, maybe Pete Crow Armstrong might be Chicago's best player,
Yeah.
okay? Look at it this way, if you can. In the division, who's the best player in the AL Central?
Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt Jr.
As far as a hitter, yeah.
Everyday player Bobby Witt, for sure.
For sure. Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
Then?
It's a question.
Yeah.
It is a major question.
No, I'm serious.
And Riley Green could be in that
Yeah,
spot.
Okay.
yeah, Riley Green
Yeah.
could be in that
His
spot.
numbers do dictate that.
Okay. Now you look at it from the entire American League. Okay. I'm not saying he's top 5, but he's in a conversation where you're having certain, like, I love certain players within the league. All right. I'm a big Aaron Judge fan. I know how people feel about it.
Right.
Big Aaron Judge fan. Okay. I like Adley Rutschman. I like Gunnar Henderson. Rutschman wasn't very good last year.
Yeah.
Do you want him as your catcher? Damn right I would.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Struggled.
I like Vinny Pasquantino. I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
I think Riley Green's better. He's better at his
100%
position than Vinny Pasquantino is.
Yeah.
I like Roman Anthony in Boston. I think he's a stud.
Yeah.
But Riley Green's better than he is. So give me the guys in the American League who are quote-unquote better. You can say Cal Raleigh. Go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because he is. Have you seen the start of Julio Rodriguez, by the way?
Not a good start.
No.
Awful start.
Yeah.
Okay?
You expect that to change, but
I hope people are understanding
I expect the same thing from Riley Green.
no, for sure. But is it just enough? Like I said, the problem isn't necessarily with Riley. It's just what are you putting around him? It just hasn't been the best. We talk about, Riley Green, he gives you 30 home runs. That's cool. But where's those other sources coming from?
What do you mean?
In terms of driving in RBIs, home runs, who consistently can you point to and say, okay, I can rely on him on a day-to-day basis? I don't think there's a lot of those
Green,
guys.
you're saying.
Yeah, besides Green. I don't think it's a lot of those guys. But that's the choice that the Tigers have made when you decide not to go out there and spend a lot of money on the bigger names.
I think that's
Even though they have.
But Shep, it's safe to say the point you're trying to make is we don't necessarily, or Tigers fans don't necessarily realize how good of a player they actually have. Like, they're focusing on the strikeouts, but when you look around, it's hard to name better left fielders than Riley Green. There aren't great ones out there. It's hard to have.
I don't think there is one.
Yeah.
He's only 25.
I don't think there is a better left fielder than he is.
Dare I?
Like Stephen Kwan might be defensively. You can make that debate.
He doesn't hit with power.
But he doesn't hit with power. Now, he steals bases, is what people, in Cleveland might say. But who's the best? If you just do a little exercise, I'm not saying we got to do it right now. Look at all the teams in the American League. Tell me who's the best player on Baltimore. I'll take Gunnar Henderson. Who's the best player on Boston? Roman Anthony.
Yeah, Roman Anthony.
Best player of the Yankees? Aaron Judge.
Yep.
Best player in Tampa? I'll wait. Okay. Best player in Toronto?
Vlad Guerrero Jr.
For sure.
George Springer.
Right? I would say Guerrero Jr.
You
Best
threw that
player.
one in there
So you could. We don't have to do the exercise, but do it through the entire league. I mean, Nick Kurtz is a really good player in Oakland, or whatever the hell they call him now. He's off to a terrible start.
You're right.
Right? Houston, is it really Jose Altuve still?
Yeah, to this point.
Is it Jeremy Pena, a guy who was hurt a lot last year? Right? Angels, is it still Mike Trout, who started really strong? Seattle probably has a couple of different guys, Texas, is it Corey Seager? They got rid of Marcus Semien.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just saying, he's not, like, we look at it and go, oh, my God, I can't believe he's our best player. Where I bet you there's some other teams that are going, hell, I'd love to have him as my best player.
They
for
would.
sure.
And if he was available, you can 100%
Oh, my
bet
God.
that teams would be vying to grab
You damn
Riley
right.
Green. They would be paying top dollar to grab Riley Green.
For sure.
This conversation is sounding eerily similar to the Jared Goff conversation.
I wouldn't. No, don't.
You,
compare
you look
Riley.
around.
Don't get Hefe started.
No, I know,
please.
but you look around the NFL, there really aren't many quarterbacks better than Jared Goff, but here we like to pick apart and find every little hole and try to think of him as a bottom of the, bottom 10 quarterback when really.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's ridiculous.
I wouldn't go that far.
Dude, you said you'd draft Dante Moore and have him start over Jared Goff immediately.
Did say that.
That's going pretty far.
Let's be fair.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, he said it.
Oh, Shep didn't even know.
Do me a favor. Cut his mic. Holy mother of God.
Let's be fair. That was an overreaction.
No.
Okay?
Oh.
All right?
Somebody on this network overreacting?
No.
But I
No
did say, in time, I do have faith that Dante Moore will be a successful NFL quarterback.
Fair.
I have a 3-word
And
answer.
he only
You're an
started
idiot.
truly two years so far.
Look, there aren't 20 good quarterbacks in the National Football League. There aren't 20. He is a top 8 quarterback. And that's not where we're going with this stream.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm just going.
You may not like him because here's a really good college basketball coach once told me. When you see your team every day, you focus on the warts. When you see
Good
the
point.
really good teams of somebody else, you can't help but fall in love with the same warts because you don't see them every day.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we do. And we're not the only fan base, by the way. And Hefe's not the only guy who does it. We all do it.
Right.
Okay? I do it to a fault, protecting certain guys because I think Riley Green's a hell of a player. Okay?
He is.
And I like certain players. I love Jalen Durham. I'm going to protect. I'm going to say good things about him because I truly believe in it until you're proven wrong. What we have to be able to learn is when we are proven wrong, good way or bad way,
Gotta apologize.
that's gone. Oh, no, he got under it. Torkelson with a big swing. Warning track power. Yeah. The wind. No, I'm just kidding.
Just a fan said I open up a can of worms.
You did.
What's that?
I open up a can of worms, according to the chat.
Oh.
Bringing Jared Goff into this mix. But the point wasn't to compare them as players. Just like you said, we see all their flaws.
Right.
We see all their warts. We remember the 5-interception game against Houston, but forget to remember that they won that game.
Yeah, right.
And then we get that wind speed calculation here, Shep. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good graphic. It's heavily blowing right to left.
I would love if we had more right-handed power in that lineup.
Ah, it'd be nice. But that's kind of what I wanted to maybe ask you about, Shep, is does expectation level kind of play into maybe how some people perceive Riley Green? Because, 2024, the Tigers, make the playoffs for the first time in what was forever. And it was kind of off the back of like a magical type of run. We remember pitching chaos the whole bit. After that, you begin to place expectations on this team. And for somebody like Riley Green, who, once again, one of the best players in the American League and the MLB, let's just be real about it. But when you, like I said, you make him your guy, don't really surround him with anything, as good or, to the same level as him. Do you think the expectation level plays into that at all? Because a lot of people look at this Tigers team as a World Series of bust team. And I know you don't have a lot of those Aaron Judge type guys, but that's mostly because the Tigers have opted for the draft route. They have opted for the younger route. Do you think that plays into it at all?
Oh, here we go. Sorry. Looks like Parker Meadows.
Meadows got hit on the back foot.
Spiked with a curveball.
With nobody out and 2 on. The second coming, Bob Gibson hit him.
of course it would get hit in the foot that doesn't have the foot pad.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's the worst feeling as a pitcher. One of the worst feelings. You spike a curveball, spike an off-speed pitch, and it just happens to catch the back of their foot.
To a guy who is going to cause a little disruption for you mentally.
Who struggles at the plate.
That's what Parker Meadows, all he needs to have better at-bats and he needs to put the ball in play.
Right.
When he's on base, he's a difference maker.
Yeah.
He's already a difference maker on defense.
Elite
He just
speed.
needs to get on base a little
Elite
bit more.
speed.
It's a fact.
All of that puts the pressure.
Oh, my God.
We saw it. It's not the best example, but the swing at that
Slider.
one.
Yeah.
It's okay, Shep.
If any, no, honest to God, I mean, if Soriano throws Javier Baez
3 sliders.
anything but a slider,
I swear.
I would yank his ass.
Oh,
That's
he
another
left
slider.
that one over the plate, too.
Oh, and it's foul.
It was still a slider, though.
Yeah.
And he still swung at it.
Javi gonna
It was
reach,
ground
boy.
foul.
If it's
Yeah.
one thing he
He
gonna do,
is.
he gonna reach.
How about this comment from Bimpy? Bimpy MO1HN in the chat. My only problem with Riley Green is his consistent hitting problems for a whole season. These guys and their love of warts, said Phoenix Sundust.
If we're being honest about Riley Green, think of how many RBIs he would have attached to that home run number if there were guys on base instead of hitting solo shots. You said it earlier. Your coach said that solo shots won't, they don't lose you a game.
Yeah, they shouldn't. Yeah,
until they do.
Yeah, until they do.
Right.
You think although they're all lefties, you kind of like what's brewing around Riley Green when you talk about McGonigal, Colt Keith. They got Glaber for this year, but when I think of protection for your best hitter, I think of Miguel Cabrera being sandwiched between a Placido Polanco and a Victor Martinez.
Yes.
When he was healthy, you mean?
When he was healthy,
When he was healthy. When he was healthy, he was a dog.
It's those guys that you can't let Miguel Cabrera beat you, because if he gets on base, Victor Martinez isn't going to strike out.
Right.
You can't let Placido Polanco get on base because Miguel Cabrera is going to drive him in.
And
Parker Meadows just stole the bag.
And if you tout Riley Green as one of the best players in the American League, he just doesn't seem to be somebody that can carry an offense to the point where you've seen other guys.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, like an Aaron
Absolutely.
Judge and some of the better
Yeah,
names.
but you're also talking about an MVP.
Kyle-
You're comparing him to an MVP.
No, for sure.
Okay, and by the way, he had 19 homers with runners on last
Yeah.
year. Okay.
Yeah, but just
Okay, so 19 bombs with guys on base.
No.
That's not bad. Not bad at all. You'd like more. I get it.
But not even just home runs, but doubles and triples.
Oh, there we go, baby.
To the left
Send him.
side.
There we
Let's
go.
Javi.
Play at the plate.
This is
Javi with a big RBI.
was that a slider?
It was a slider.
Slider over the plate.
He hung it right over the middle of the plate.
Praise
believe
Javier.
that?
Praise
caught
Javier.
This is what speed does for you, though. So the
Yep.
stolen bag, and then what does it do? It forces the pitcher just.
Yep.
I mean, Broder. It's forcing you to take an extra
I'd
pause.
say I have.
You can't get in the same type of rhythm, and that was a 2-out hit by pitch, by the way.
Yeah, you're thinking about the runner on first, and then you're thinking about the runner on second. And while this doesn't affect the pitcher, Javi Baez hits a pretty hard ball. The left fielder fields it in shallow left, and it's a no play at home. Parker Meadows is that fast.
Yeah.
He took probably 5 steps to get home.
he's. I mean, look how tall he is. Like he's
Yeah.
just basically stepping to home plate.
And he was able, because there were 2 outs and he stole second, he was able to go on contact. So that ball's
Great point.
through to left field, but he's already around third.
He's already moving.
Yep. McGonigal back up, 1 for 3 on the day.
I was saying this. I don't know how you guys feel about it, because I know how people feel about Meadows, and to a certain extent, I understand. He's never going to be a guy who hits high for average.
No.
So don't expect that. Torkelson's never going to be a guy who hits for high average.
No.
All right. I find it hard to believe that Max Clark is a better defensive center fielder than Parker Meadows.
I can't.
Nah,
I agree.
yeah.
I don't know how it's possible. People say he's that good, but
He is that
I
good.
think it's tough.
I think Parker Meadows is that good.
Yeah.
Parker Meadows is an elite center fielder in terms of his
Oh.
defense.
Oh.
You got to run that out. See, that's where you want to run that out.
So
As a rookie, you
McGonigal,
gotta keep running.
just so people know, McGonigal grounded to second. It was a wide and low throw.
Yeah.
And
Almost
McGonigal was, I don't want to say he was trotting down, but I
Not-
wouldn't say it was
not
100%.
100%,
Yeah.
no.
And if he is going 100%, he's probably
safe.
on base.
and
of
a run
course-
probably scores.
Of course, Pete Rose used to do that, and people made fun of him.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Pete Rose would literally run when he got walked,
Yeah.
and people made fun of him. What are you doing, trying to show people up?
So
you know
somewhere in between Pete Rose and Albert Bell.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Rest in peace, Pete Rose.
But that's something that
great
that's something you're taught. From the fundamentals of baseball. When you make contact with that ball, whether or not it's a foul or not, you need to be jetting it 100%
Yeah.
down to first base because you don't know that throw could be offline. They could bobble the throw in their glove. Those things that could change a game.
You never know when you're going to have Chuck Knobloch at second base. You just never know. It's that weird, you toe the line between, all right, you want to run every ball out 100%, but at the same time, they are playing 162 games, so that does take a toll on your body.
sure.
So you just want to see the effort consistently. I don't think he was dogging it.
No.
Do we look back and wish, all right, if he got out of the box,
Yeah.
It's almost like
100%.
That happens
Chuck
with a lot
Knobloch
of
or
guys.
Steve Sachs. Remember
Yeah, Steve Sachs.
Hey, Shep, we got a little bit of support coming back your way. Shout out to Blimpy. Shep loves the guy. It's all good. Shep got me on the defensive aspect talking about Riley Green. So.
Yeah.
What do you think he means by that? Got me on the defensive
Parker
aspect.
Meadows. I think he's.
Oh,
I
you're
believe
talking about
he's
Parker Meadows.
Oh, he's talking
and
about
how
Parker
you were
Meadows.
saying,
Yeah.
of course, Parker Meadows does have, better defense than
Yeah.
Max Clark at this point
Yeah,
in their
yeah.
young careers.
I don't think he's not an everyday center fielder. first and foremost. He could be replaced by Max Clark, yes. I think he's a bottom-of-the-lineup guy. I think he's a guy who's going to get pinch hit for late in games. Or when he's not starting, he's a defensive replacement.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's who he is. And that's my expectation for him. That doesn't mean I don't think he can't be replaced by Max Clark eventually if Clark does what he's supposed to do.
Because I think in certain situations you would prefer to sacrifice a little defense if a guy can get on base consistently. And Max Clark is projecting to have that type of ability.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, but you're not sacrificing defense. Supposedly you're getting better.
Yeah.
True.
So Shep, is this...
Framber Valdez is out. Will Vest is in as we begin the 7th, and the Tigers up 4-0. And this is where this is not unexpected.
No.
Okay? This is where what do we say? If the Tigers starters can give you 6, and I'm not saying it's going to be every game, but you're in really good shape because of the power arms you have on the back end. This is where these guys come in and they're like, holy crap. We just saw a sinker ball pitcher, a guy who throws a really nasty curveball, a guy who comes in and he's not going to overpower us per se. And now I got to look at high 90s from these guys.
Yeah.
This is what you were expecting them to do in case.
Tough play.
Good effort.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's why they had
Leadoff
McKinstry
single.
in there. Colt Keith, Glaber, no one's even getting close to that ball.
Correct.
Other than McKinstry.
Yeah,
That's
Zach
one of those-
McKinstry, yeah. Tough
One of those
play.
group singles.
Yeah. But Shep, is this what you expected them to do when Casey Mize start?
Yes.
When he went 6,
But
you
I thought
expected Finnegan.
I thought Finnegan, Vest, Jansen.
But yeah, you expected the three guys we expect to be their high leverage dudes come in after Mize leaves with the lead.
Now let's measure it to a certain extent. Casey Mize threw 93 pitches over 6 innings against Arizona.
Yeah.
But he struck out 9. Framber Valdez struck out 5 through 91 pitches today. So a few more hiccups for Valdez, but should get his first win as a Tiger.
And Valdez is out, lefty Valdez is out, which means the Cardinals brought in their young stud, J.J. Weatherholt.
Who I like a lot.
He's a stud, and they're talking about him getting paid a lot of money, Shep.
And he's
Many commas.
second right now. If you look at the rookie of, kind of a year, kind of odds, he's second right behind Kevin McGonigal.
Oh, the odds are like that?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Well,
least they were the other
that's
day.
going to change
It will change.
because Pittsburgh's got a stud playing shortstop.
Yeah.
He's only 19 years old.
Yep.
Okay.
Is he going to have a better debut than McGonigal?
I find
And
that hard to believe.
That's hard to top.
Weatherholt had a home run in his debut, and I think
did.
a walk-off hit a few games later.
There
He
we
did.
go. Warner track power, but it looks
Yep.
like Riley has it.
Yep.
That's first out of the 7th.
And I think it's very important that this bullpen closes out this game and not just, don't let up a run. I think we should close out in dominant fashion so that you can get back to that level. Because when Casey Mize was pitching and he had that beautiful, masterful performance, they came in and they let it up.
Yeah. And
I would love to see him just clear cut, just dominate.
Yeah, I would like that too. I
Yeah.
mean, if they gave up a run, I wouldn't care. But I don't want any high-pressure situations. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, don't want to give them really any momentum because we have seen the Tigers slip before. And I wanted to ask you, Broder, you know, last time Vest was up there, didn't really have the best outing. What do you really feel he needs to do this time around?
To me, Vest is a confidence pitcher. I didn't read too much into that outing, just that he wasn't sharp yet.
Yeah.
Vest, he's come such a long way. He just needs to be confident. When he's confident, there's conviction as a pitcher makes all the difference. It's a completely different pitch than if you go up hesitant. So for me, it's just confidence.
Can you show the folks at home the different grips? Because we're going from Valdez, who threw the sinker. Show us the sinker grip, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, cutter fastball, right? Which it's a fastball, but it cuts differently. And then, if you don't mind, a changeup.
Yeah, of course. And I don't have all the answers because everyone throws it a little bit different.
Yeah,
But
a little bit.
It's fun. I love pitching because how you're able to manipulate the ball, the path of the ball based on your finger pressure, based on your finger location on the ball. It's really fun. So normally, let me make sure I'm in camera here. You got the camera right here.
Got the close-up for us.
Yeah, so normally, and I'm left-handed, a simple 4-seam fastball is right across these seams here. You want this pitch, it will usually be your hardest pitch because the way it comes off your hand, the wind is hitting all 4 of these seams, so it goes straight, and it goes hard.
It'll run, though, too.
It can run depending on how long your fingers are, how much pressure you put on your middle finger versus your index finger. Sometimes to throw the cutter, you're not always moving to a slider grip, but you're adjusting the ball a little bit in your hand and putting a little more pressure on your middle finger. So when you're throwing it with the same arm speed as a fastball, you're just cutting it at that last minute to get that late break. You want your finger, a cutter's hard to throw. You want it under the ball, which is hard.
Oh, watch out.
As you saw already, although this is a plastic ball, it's hard to control a ball and throw with accuracy when it's under. So
that's why Rivera made it so special.
So special. And we have one of the other guys in this bullpen that it's no Mariano Rivera cutter, but Kenley Jansen has one of the most famous cutters also. And a similar story, too, how he discovered it in just playing catch with a catcher or something. One thing I love to describe is Scooble's changeup, because while normally a traditional circle change, you're kind of jamming it into your hand here. Almost, you can think about it.
Making an okay sign
into
almost.
your palm. Basically showing it. Where's the camera? Am I on you right here?
Okay.
So you're basically making a circle with your thumb and your index finger and throwing them with these three pitches, with these three fingers. So it's rolling off the end of your longest fingers. It's gaining friction on these as long as possible. And when they throw it traditionally, you want to supinate. Or no, excuse me, you want to pronate. You're throwing a changeup, so it's going off these fingers, and you're almost, honestly, rotating your hand and your wrist in this pronation.
And it comes in, you see a circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's called a circle change, right?
And it usually drops or goes away. It goes arm side away from a righty as a left-handed hitter. What Scooble does, though, he throws a circle change, but he doesn't pronate. He throws it just like a fastball, and he supinates. Ooh. So his changeup is dropping,
steep drop,
but it's also cutting a little bit. The direction that most changeups don't go, so hitters aren't normally used to that. It allows him to throw that to righties more. It allows him now in this year 3. He's got 2 Cy Youngs already. In 2026, how is he going to get better? He's working his slider in a lot more off of his two-seam fastball and his changeup.
Yeah.
The way he's able to frame his pitches, pitch framing, his fastball and his changeup and his slider, they look exactly the same coming out of the hand. One goes this way, and one drops
with
this way.
With the same arm motion. When you have a fastball that pops the glove at 99, and you got a changeup out of the same motion, it's virtually impossible for a hitter to try and decipher the difference. Fair enough?
Fair enough. Changeup's my favorite pitch in baseball because
every kid should learn it.
Every kid should learn it far earlier than a curveball, far earlier than anything that's you spinning your elbow. I gravitated towards the changeup because I didn't throw very hard. I needed to find a way for my ball to look harder to the hitters. So I wanted to adjust their eye level with movement, where I was pitching them, but also you throw a changeup at, well, for me, it was a fastball at about 88 at its peak. Then I would throw a 78, 79 mile an hour changeup.
That's a big change.
Yeah, 10, 12 mile an hour difference.
What's the perfect difference? Because that's a bit. 12 miles an hour is a huge difference.
I wanted it to be, as long as I was confident throwing it, I wanted it to be as drastic as possible. Because for me, I wanted to use it to also elevate my fastball a little bit, how it looks to the hitter.
Right.
But you see it different with different pitchers. I'd say sweet spot's probably 8 to 10, 8 to 10 miles an hour. Framber Valdez, his is 5 to 6 miles per hour, but he uses it differently. He pitches with his two-seamer, or his sinker, they call it now. That's his primary pitch, which goes arm side from a lefty, goes away from a right-handed hitter, or down and in to a left-handed hitter. With his changeup, he wants it to be a little harder because he wants to jam it in there to lefties a lot. He wants it to be able to look like that two-seamer to the right-handed hitters, where then those are the two harder pitches, his changeup and his sinker. His third pitch, which is his wipeout pitch, his curveball. It's loopy, it's 78, 79 miles per hour. Then they're guessing. Then they're out in front. Then it throws them all off. It's how he uses the velocity to change how the hitters are approaching his pitch.
It's not quite 12-6 like Clayton Kershaw, but it's very effective. Show us for the last thing, I don't know if you ever threw a splitter, But, there is a difference between a forkball and a split finger.
Yeah.
And the reason a lot of people don't throw the split finger, it puts incredible torque on your forearm and your elbow.
Yeah, I never threw it in a game because, well, I have chubby fingers, so I couldn't really get comfortable.
It's got to fly
jamming
out of
that, you're truly like jamming it into your fingers.
Yeah.
You're throwing it with the same arm speed as a fastball, but the way it's able to come off of your hand, it drops and it dips right at that last minute. It's very hard to throw. I struggle with guys like Casey Mize when that's the pitch that's going to take him to the next level.
Yeah.
That's what made him famous at Auburn.
It did.
No, for sure.
The reason he had such a high strikeout to walk ratio is because of the split. When he got called up to Detroit, and I was there for it, he had all kinds of issues trying to control the split.
Yeah.
Now, last year, big reason he was successful and led this team in wins, split.
Yep.
What did he do so well in his outing? Split.
Yeah.
That was as good as I've seen his splitter
Agreed.
ever.
Yeah.
The
But
way
when
he was
runs
using
into,
it.
When he runs into problems, it's because it's hard to command.
Yeah, and you don't throw your best one. You don't throw it with conviction. You leave that splitter up in the zone. It doesn't drop down.
Or people are spitting on it early.
Yeah.
So the best splitters, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I work with Jack Morris, who also did the same thing. The best splitters are dropping at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
So hitters think it's a fastball. They're gearing up middle of the plate, and then it's falling off the table. That's what he did so well the other day. Command is interesting, but you want it in the dirt.
Right.
No, for
right.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
A competitive
it's where
ball.
it's starting.
Yeah, it's perfect example. You want that competitive ball. Whether it's a splitter or a changeup, you see a lot of pitchers, you get into an 0-2 count. A lot of people, you like to throw the heater up and into a hitter. Get their eye level up, maybe move them back in the batter's box. Just mess with their comfort
pitching.
in the zone. You back them up, you throw a splitter or a changeup down in the dirt. You're like, why?
Yeah.
Why is anyone swinging at that?
Eye level.
Their eye levels change so much.
Exactly. And really, they don't have to change a lot, do they?
No.
I mean, if I'm sitting there and I'm used to seeing a guy at mid-90s in a certain zone, and then suddenly he's changing my eye level, it's hard to get that zone back right away.
Yeah.
So there are purpose pitches without question. That's a great demonstration.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man. That's
Thank you. I
beautiful.
appreciate it.
I absolutely love that. We were talking about Connor Griffin before, and we're into the bottom of the seventh, 2-1 to Gleyber Torres, St. Louis, and the
1 for
Tigers.
3 on the
Tigers
day.
up 4-zip. We were talking about Connor Griffin. It'll be fun to follow because minor leagues, he was an absolute stud. Connor Griffin is reportedly signing a 9-year, $140 million contract at the age of 19, and he hasn't seen one pitch in the major leagues. Sidney Crosby is one of the greatest players in the history of his sport. He made $170 million. That shows you the difference between baseball and hockey. Connor Griffin will make his debut at age 19. Wow. He will be one of 9 players in the 21st century to make his debut as a teenager. Here are the others. Juan Soto in 2018 with Washington. Bryce Harper in 2012 with Washington. Harper's one of my favorite players of all time. I love him. Jurickson Profar in 2012. I would not have guessed that.
Me neither.
I completely forgot.
Didn't he just get suspended as well?
He did get suspended as well. Way to go, Jurickson. Mike Trout, of course, one of the greatest players of all time, 2011. Justin Upton with the Snakes in 2007. Melvin Upton in 2004. Jose Reyes in 2003. And Wilson Betterment in 2001. I'm not going to lie. I like baseball a lot. I might have gotten 3 of those names.
Soto, Harper, and
Soto, Harper, and probably Trout.
But those other,
And Trout is from like a long time ago.
I think
2011.
my takeaway is I'm a bit envious of the Upton's parents, BJ, Melvin, and
kidding.
Justin.
They produce good ones.
All that money before playing in the bigs.
Yeah.
No, but that kind of seems like we're seeing that new strategy more often in baseball. The Colt Keith contract. Not even the
I wouldn't even say it was Colt Keith. Here's what
Ronald Acuna.
It was Ronald Acuna. It was Austin Riley. And it was Ozzie Albies. Those 3 guys, I'm going to stand up, fellas, because sitting down is just too much sometimes.
No problem.
Those 3 guys in Atlanta, that's how they chose to do it.
Yeah.
They wanted to tie their young guys up early to make sure they're going to have him for a while. And I thought it's a brilliant strategy if those guys are that good. And those guys are that good.
Yeah.
How is it too dissimilar than what the Lions are doing with their young players?
It's not.
That's a good point.
It's not. Other than having a salary cap, it's not.
Yeah.
Invest early. They did it with Colt Keith. Colt Keith has one of the best contracts in the major leagues.
Yeah.
You think it might be happening soon with McGonigal?
For the team.
For the team.
Right.
It could turn into a really good contract for him, too.
Yep. Got a full count here. Tigers with a man on, no outs. Glaber reached on a walk, and now Carpenter is at the plate.
Question is, when do we see Colt Keith come into this game?
You know he's coming at some point.
Is it going to be from McKinstry?
I
Yes.
believe so. But yeah,
It's not going to be for Green.
No.
It won't be for Dingler because you have two right-handed catchers. It's not like you bring
another
Jake
walk
Rogers
there.
It's going to be for McKinstry, unless it could be for Torkelson.
Yeah, could.
Okay.
Yep.
But because McKinstry's got a couple of hits.
Yep. Tigers with 2 on now, no outs.
Yeah, this is the first of 3 between Detroit and St. Louis. Tomorrow at 12:30 start, and then Sunday is Sunday Night Baseball against the Cardinals. Justin Verlander
Yes, sir.
making his start as a Tiger on Sunday night.
Plan on being in the building for that one. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's going to be nice.
That's going to be exciting.
Everyone's
Homecoming,
ready
man.
for that one.
That's a lot of pressure on Verlander, man.
No, it's not.
No, you know he's been in the big moment before. But coming back home, having started for the Tigers in so long, Sunday Night Baseball, Easter Sunday, this is one of those bookmark games people are going to remember. So you hope to get a good outing from him.
Yeah, I think it'll be a memorable one.
No, absolutely.
Are we past the nostalgia, though? Verlander's,
bit, just
Verlander's
like-
here to produce. He's here to pitch.
I never got caught up
to
in the
bounce back after
nostalgia.
Yeah.
I never got caught up in it. I wanted him because I thought he could help you with 150 innings and 10 wins.
No, for sure.
That's what I wanted from him.
This ain't the retirement tour
and I want
by any stretch.
And I want innings from my starters.
Yeah.
I think if you look at this, I've talked about this with Braylon before. The really good team, LA was kind of a little bit of an exception to the rule. The really good teams that go deep, look at Team WAR, should be right around 30 or more, okay? And look at how many innings pitched their starters go. You would like it to be around
Oh, big hack from Riley right there.
850,
Going back to the track.
It's out. It's an out.
Ah, good play.
Yeah. See, everybody gets caught up in it, and it's I mean, you think it's gone. You think there's something there. And it's such a big ballpark. By the way, in case people were wondering, Colt Keith, this is the reason Broder brought it up. Colt Keith this year is making $4.3 million. He'll make $4.3 million next year. Then he'll make $5.3. Then he'll make $5.3. And then at age 28, he's going to make 10, age 29, 13, age 30, 15. That, in the words of The Who, is a bargain.
Yeah.
The
great
best I
contract.
ever had.
Yeah, that was a great deal that they put out there.
From a team standpoint, it sure is.
It was.
But here's what was everybody saying though? Everybody was saying, why would you do that?
Right,
Why would
'cause
you
he
do
had-
it so early?
Yeah, he hadn't played a game yet for
Yeah.
the Tigers.
They believed in him.
Yep.
They believed in his.
Double play turn.
Dingler gets a 6-4-3 double play.
Are,
It's all right. Happens.
before we move on, who was on second base there, or who's on
Who's on
first base?
Torres.
Yeah. No,
Are you-
Torres was on second.
Are you?
Carpenter was on first.
Oh,
I might be tagging up. Wait, who was on second? Carpenter.
Glaber was on second. Carpenter was on first.
Okay, so Carpenter stayed at first. Glaber tagged up and went to third.
Yeah.
That ball was deep enough where I'm thinking Carpenter might want to tag up at first base.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he was running, not able. It was either going to be a home run or the guy was going to catch it. I'm pulling teeth here.
Yeah.
50-50 ball, but like, hey, if he tags up and gets to second,
I think the hard part of that is the read. If it's over his head, you go halfway. If it's over his head, you score.
Right.
If you're going back to first base and it's over his head, you're on third base
True.
and everyone's pitching. Why in the hell are you not crossing home plate?
true. Does that change if you're up 4-0? Like,
I don't know. You tell me. I probably wouldn't change my philosophy in that regard.
I'm keeping
Not
my
from
foot on
first
the
base.
pedal.
I might from second or third.
Yeah.
But I don't from first.
all right, no way.
I prefer to keep my foot on the
I'm
pedal.
talking through this with you guys. We're feeling it out. But McGonigal's going to be that next guy to get a contract, right?
Yeah.
We gotta wonder how
Well,
many years and how much money is he gonna get.
Well, if this is the precedent, I mean, let's look at it from Kevin McGonigal's agent standpoint. Connor Griffin is the number one prospect in baseball, and it's 9/140. Let's just say that's what it is. It hasn't been announced yet, but that's what the belief is. 9/140. even if it's not, and Weatherholt is what Broder said, 8 and 130. I'm going for at least 9 140.
Yeah.
At
Not mad at
least,
that.
am I not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
If
no
you really
different.
believe
It's
in
no
his
different than the
ceiling,
wide
yeah.
receivers in the NFL, right?
No, for sure.
When
You gotta-
Amon-Ra
yeah.
St. Brown reset the market, what are they doing? The next free agent center is going to be measured against Tyler Linderbaum.
Oh, that's a fact.
27 million. Am I
what a
wrong?
It's going to be a minute before you catch that man.
Right.
Yeah.
So quarterbacks are going to say, look, that's the precedent.
Yeah,
That's the way
market
it's set.
value.
Give me the same years plus $1 million more to be the highest paid.
Doesn't mean the Tigers have to do it.
Right.
No,
Right.
no.
Like,
but
I'm,
will they?
I'm surprised they haven't extended Green yet, personally.
And that's kind of been my thing because he's proven it to you. When you sign McGonigal, you're doing it on upside alone. And I get that early signs show he might live up to that upside. But right now, that's what you're doing. That's what you did with Cole Keith. But when somebody has proven it, like a Riley Green, I do question why they haven't done it to this point.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, too. Kyle Finnegan is in now for the 8th inning for Detroit. And it's kind of interesting because Finnegan pitched the 7th the other night and Vest the 8th.
Yeah.
Now they go 7 and 8 in the different order. What does this guy bring, Broder, that makes it different from Vest and challenging for the Cardinals?
It's not different in terms of heat, although his velocity is up a little bit here. For me, I think let me be reminded of his pitch mix. I think of him in a similar way as Will Vest, but it's just another high leverage arm that's been there before.
Base hit on the second pitch he throws. That's a fastball.
Right
yeah,
up the
where
gap.
was it located?
Yeah, up and over in the middle.
Yeah, I should have guessed that.
Yeah, I like him. I loved the trade a year ago for him. I loved the re-signing of him.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think he's a dependable arm out of the back end of your bullpen. I think he can give you different innings. He can give you the 6th inning. He can give you the 7th. He can give you the 8th. If you need, and Kenley Jansen has closed in back-to-back games, this guy can close for you as well. That's what I like about those 3 guys specifically: Vest, him, and Jansen.
He doesn't have to be the dude.
Yeah.
Like all 3 of them are the dudes.
Three-headed monster.
It's
yeah.
nice to have that in your back pocket.
Yeah, right.
Last year they had 20. Each of them had 20 saves each, so
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, that takes a lot as a four-seamer.
He ain't go. Yeah.
I've noticed today on this broadcast, you're not seeing the velo from some of these pitches.
Actually, you're right.
And I like that aspect of it. I know some people don't, but I enjoy seeing what the pitch is
Absolutely.
and how hard it's being brought to the plate. Very similar to a golfer. I want to see what club he's hitting from how many yards away.
Yeah.
It gives me a better feel for the game.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Now, remember, this is a new broadcast. This is produced out of New York by MLB. It's still local cameras and local talent and the like. That's a high strike.
Is he going to challenge
That
it?
was,
Are we
they
gonna
got
challenge?
it. Yeah, 97.
That was
in the corner.
97, but it's
Yeah.
not showing you here. It's showing you faintly at the top when it's delivered.
Yeah.
You got to really pay attention to it.
One thing he adds, or how they've built this bullpen, they've added layers. Like it's not just your hard thrower at the back.
Crap.
They've got different shapes to these pitchers. Kenley Jansen's a different type of closer than many others in the bigs, and it looks different than Vest and Finnegan.
Did you like that signing? When
Jansen?
Kenley Jansen was signed, did you like it?
I did.
I wasn't thrilled with it.
Yeah.
I did. I like having that kind of experience, that type of World Series experience
Sure.
at the back end of your bullpen. I think some of the things he does can help out certain pitchers like a Jack Flaherty in terms of how he gains perceptual velocity when he throws his pitches.
Yeah.
Everyone winds up a little different, but the way Kenley Jansen's able to extend and get out closer to the pitcher is something I want to see Jack Flaherty do more of, who I think of as just kind of short-arming, especially when he loses control. He short-arms the ball and it keeps it up.
Yeah.
The ball is up in the zone. I think he can learn a lot from Kenley.
And with Jansen,
It's interesting.
He put up a good ERA last year. He's an older guy. Is it a question, of, okay, can he keep up this level of play for this long? Do you get stuck holding the bag? What are some of the things that maybe detract you from a Kenley Jansen?
you think time's going to catch up at some point.
Yeah.
His velocity
Velocities
dips,
dips,
and he's not striking anybody out, so that cutter isn't effective. You just worry about him losing what has got him to this point with age. Almost similarly to what you worry about with Verlander. Not that he doesn't know how to pitch or still can't be successful, that he just doesn't have the stuff at 43 to be able to execute.
Right.
His mind wants to do one thing. At some point, it stops acting.
Your body starts
exactly
going the other way.
It's hard. It's been really fun, especially the second half of last year, seeing Verlander adjust to his struggles, adjust to he got healthy. And not only did he get healthy, it allowed him to get his arm angle up a little higher, which had more juice on the ball. He worked down in the zone more. That neck issue was huge for him. He learned how to pitch after he realized he's not going to throw 100 every game.
Yeah. And, Broder, I wanted to ask you about the top of the bullpen, because we talk about the back end, and you arguably have a three-headed monster there. But where I kind of worry is the top of that bullpen, guys like Brant Herter. We're going to see Connor Seabald at some point. But
Paul Seabald?
Yeah, no, not Paul Seawald. That closed us out for the Diamondbacks the other night. No, not Paul Seawald, but Connor Seabald. Can you just tell us, some things maybe we should look out for with the top of the bullpen and some of those guys?
Yeah, I think you should go into the season with confidence with them. Although every outing hasn't been perfect, I like how Connor Seabald was throwing the ball. You see DeJesus, he's got some good tools. But I say don't stress out too much, because those are going to be the first guys that get sent down or replaced if they struggle consistently. They aren't committed for this entire season at this moment to Connor Seabald or Brant Herter. They got guys in AAA that if they can't figure it out or they have a couple bad outings in a row, Hinch and Harris aren't going to hesitate going and plucking some of those guys who they sent down.
Yeah.
So my thing is, too, kind of bouncing off of KG here. Drew Anderson has had a couple of rough outings already.
KBO's finest, baby.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on him, and what do you think he needs to improve upon as we move forward?
Consistency. For him, he's got the stuff. He's got experience pitching in the KBO. We just need to see consistent outings if you're going to be a reliever. I know he's used to being a starter, and it's not easy to make that transition, but he just needs to be consistent. You can almost get away with canned answers talking about pitchers saying he's just got to throw strikes.
Yeah, right.
He's just got to throw strikes.
You
but
do that with sports. And I'm just looking for consistency.
Right.
No crap.
Right.
I think everybody is.
He just wants to complete the
That's
pass
the reason
over the
sports
middle.
is really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a reason there's that argument. If you are 1 for 3 in your lifetime, you're a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Unless you're Don Mattingly.
Right.
But if you're 1 for 3, that's not consistent.
No.
It's really hard to be consistent in sports.
It is. Yeah. I would tell any kid practicing, like coming up as a pitcher, or a dad who's teaching their kid how to pitch, throw a fastball and have them learn how to throw a strike as long as possible. And that is a
beautiful play. Yeah, I couldn't get it.
Yeah, that's all right. He wasn't going to get him anyway. But the short hop, what's wrong with Hefe? It's a great play.
Oh, okay.
It's a great play.
You got to ask for Hefe. You never know.
Here's the thing I look at, and it was a two-hopper down the right side, okay? He didn't try to turn 2 by throwing to second base.
No.
There was no chance. The only way he's getting 2 is if he steps on the bag and throws to first.
Yep, good play, Bob.
I mean, that is baseball mindset right there.
Yeah.
That is a guy right now going, you know what? If the ball's hit to me and it's on this, he's thinking through things before anything else. He's getting a lot of work.
Yep. And we're going to get
Good job by
third
Finnegan
out.
to get out of it.
There we
so
go.
he gets the first 2 guys on, and then he gets out of it with no scratch. 4 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for Detroit. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for St. Louis, and we're through 7.5.
Solid ball game by the boys today, man.
It's a perfect example of why baseball is such a great game. Like, it tests your ability to fail without unraveling.
Yeah.
You got to stay emotionally strong.
It's like golf.
It is. It is. It's a sport of tension and patience and response. Mm-hmm. There's romance in the routine.
Especially because in baseball, the feeling is if I'm not hitting, I'm not contributing.
Yeah.
You know, obviously pitchers are different, but if not contributing to the offense, what am I doing? In hockey, you can contribute in ways where you're poke checking a pass away, or you're hitting a guy and laying a guy out, or you're doing something where you can get a plus. Hey, I may not have had many shots tonight, but I was a +2 for the Red Wings, right? Basketball, I played good defense. Lassar Thompson had 9 points last night.
4 steals.
But what did he do? He had 3 steals. He had 9 boards. He had 5 assists, I think. He got after it and played and affected the game in a different manner. Baseball, you're in that lineup. If you go 0 for 4 and you guys lose, that's a tough pill to swallow. And then you go, suddenly you're 0 for 4 the next night. Then you're on the bus and you're going, holy crap, man. If I don't hit tomorrow, I'm going to go hitless in the series. That's a long bus trip to the airplane before we hop on and want to play cards with the boys.
Yeah. The best teams are built in those moments, though. It's you bond on those long bus rides or the long flights, and you learn how to make adjustments from what you failed at in that series. I can't imagine that flight back from Arizona was so great for that team.
Right.
But you hope guys like Jansen and Verlander and Skubal are spending time with the other pitchers and figuring out how to make up for what they lost.
Yeah, I think that is common for them for sure. I know, at least where I used to sit, I'd be facing the tail end of the plane, and right over here is where they played the card game. Okay, about 5 rows up on the left. And the one thing I've always marveled at with baseball players is their ability to forget. I say this all the time. I think baseball players have to be able to do, they have to be like a cornerback in football. Yeah. You're going to get burned, for a touchdown. Justin Jefferson is going to go blow by your ass one day, and you're going to have to remember the next time you got to face him again.
Yes, sir.
So you can't let that dwell. You can't dwell on that. Baseball is the exact same way.
Yeah, you got to forget about it.
You got to have a short memory.
Easier said than done.
No, for sure.
When you and I are bringing it up all the time. If they're listening to us, which I'm not sure they are.
Or when you're in a hitting slump like some of our guys are.
Right.
Yeah, so no, I totally get that.
That's a tough thing to burn through. I mean, if you're Kerry Carpenter and it's early on, don't kid yourself. I mean, just like a golfer gripping the putter a little bit tighter, you're gripping the bat a little bit tighter, don't you think?
Yeah. And you hearing some of those chirps from the outside as well. You can do your best to avoid it, but just one of them things, man. But you got to trust your approach and know that, hey, you're up here in the big club for a reason, man. So.
And the good thing about Kerry is, you know what, he did start off pretty, slow. He had 4 strikeouts the other night, and then today, hey, he's 2 for 3 with a walk.
Way better game for him today.
Listen, that's why I said when you look at Kevin McGonigal, and everybody's talking about his first game, I look at when he went 0 for 4 with 3 punch-outs in his third game.
Yeah.
Because how did he respond to that? That told me that kid is mature, right? The easy thing to do is go, holy crap, I can't believe I just struck out 3 times. That dude may have not struck out 3 times in his entire career. Maybe it hasn't been for a long, long time, okay? I doubt he did it in high school. I'll guarantee you that.
Right.
This is something I haven't experienced before, and now he's able to get through it and perform at a high level, too.
Yeah. The game will embarrass you. The game exposes you and exposes your failures. It's how you deal with them.
Right.
It's how you deal with them.
And how you don't let it affect you at the other end. That's why catching is so damn hard.
Yeah.
Gosh, you got to be able to do this. You got to be able to do. Listen, think of the process that you have when you show up at the ballpark. Torkelson lines one right side. And that's beautiful.
That's one of those good swings, though, Shep.
Yeah, it's a great swing. You go back to the dugout, you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Better
you know
play
what? If you're Michael Broder, the hitting coach, you're like, that a boy.
Oh, boy. Yeah. We want more of that.
Yeah.
But I was talking about catching. You think about them, they go to their stall, and on their chair or in their stall is the pitching report. They sit down at a table after they're done doing the Zuku or whatever it is, that they want to do, and they are going over every pitching scenario with their pitchers. The starter and the relievers. Yeah. This is how we're going to pitch to KG today. Doon, 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 doon. They got to remember all of that. And then they got to remember the stuff that Broder has compared to Will Vest has.
Yeah.
That is not an easy thing to do.
No. And Dylan Dingler's done it pretty sensationally.
He's been unreal as a rookie. And then now into his second year and already doing what he's doing at the stick and handling his pitching staff. On top of that, you're trying to hit the ball.
Yeah. And he's doing a damn good job.
And that's not easy.
Yeah.
So
when guys like Dinger produce with the bat, it allows us more patience with guys like Parker Meadows. That production you think you would get from your center fielder, if you're getting it from Dylan Dingler, all right, Parker, we got some time to figure it out.
Right. Don't take forever, though.
No, don't take forever.
One of these days.
But
just make sure you play good.
He gets a longer leash in that regard.
He's one of those guys that can affect a baseball game without getting a hit.
Yeah.
He needs to remember that. Use that to build confidence.
It's a fact.
Let's see. Duncan says catchers work with the pitchers, usually a vet of some sort, no legs, maybe to run. catchers work with the pitchers, usually a vet. No, the catchers work with every pitcher.
Yeah.
Not just veteran pitchers. They're working with all of them. And some pitchers, yeah, they're playing catch and they're doing bullpen sessions together, right? But the beauty of this team too is that A.J. Hinch was a really good catcher defensively at the major league level. Really good catcher, played for Team USA. So he was a guy who he sees certain things. He recognizes certain things. He and a guy like Chris Fetter, who's standing next to him the entire time, they're recognizing all that stuff.
We've talked a lot over the last couple of years about the Detroit Lions and how their coaching staff is made up of former players, and that's been a headline, an important headline, a real headline of how they're able to connect with those players. It's very similar in baseball. We got someone like Fetter telling you.
Do you think so?
I think so. I think if
Jim Leland never made it. He's a pretty damn good manager.
It's not all encompassing. It's not the only reason, but I think that the direction you were going with A.J. Hinch, a guy like Dylan Dingler, learning from A.J. Hinch, who now sees he's tasked with building this entire team and this strategy, but seeing it from a catcher's eyes. His rapport with Dylan Dingler is as important as anything. You combine that with guys like Chris Fetter and the positional coaches, George Lombard. Yeah, George Lombard's he's the bench coach.
Oh
yeah, who's the Lombard? Who's with the Yankees?
That's his son.
Oh,
his son plays.
He's also named George.
Yeah, his son.
Well, there.
One of his sons.
Well, there you go.
Played at Vanderbilt.
What they do with their defensive positioning, not just following the spray charts of their opponent's players, actually trying to pitch to where you want them to hit the ball. Trying to exploit their weaknesses. There's an analytical game plan that they have between Hinch, Fetter, and the positional coaches of how to become a better defensive team. That's partly why Framber Valdez made his way here. Not because he looks behind him and there's this incredible defensive infield. It's because he trusts they have enough guys combined with this analytics department that's just putting them in the right place for success.
One of my favorite stories is Greg Maddux, how he threw a gopher ball to Jeff Bagwell. And he threw a gopher ball on purpose. He gave up a homer on purpose. And the reason he did that is because he knew they were going to face Jeff Bagwell in the playoffs. And he had him in a similar situation, and he struck him out. It's amazing how certain guys can look that far in advance. They're not setting up guys for this game. They might be setting up guys for a series, for a second series, or later on a season.
It's special.
It's deep. It's a lot deeper than people think.
It is. Pitchers do it on in-game, but for someone like Greg Maddux he was special. For him to do that months in advance, one of my favorite pitch sequences, you throw a change-up or an off-speed pitch, and the batter absolutely rips it foul. Like one of those where you're like, he probably hit it out of the stadium, but foul. You don't expect him to throw the same pitch again. Hitters didn't expect me to throw a changeup again after they were right on it. So I threw him a changeup again, and they're swinging over it.
Yeah, that took guts, though.
Because if they catch you,
that's what pitching is all about. Conviction. You got to be convicted in the pitches you're throwing. It can't just be, all right, Dingler's going to call this, and I guess I got to throw it. They all got to be on the same page.
Almost like a good poker player.
So we're to the ninth, and this is smart by A.J. Hinch. He's going with Tyler Holton. It's a 4-0 game. There's no reason to use Kenley Jansen today.
No.
Okay? So Tyler Holton, a lefty on lefty. He got the first guy out after 2 pitches and a fly ball to right. So nobody on, 1 out, 0-1.
Bottom of the order.
Holton against Weatherholt, who's a lefty, has been brought off the bench as a pinch hitter earlier in the game, and now has to face Tyler Holton, who's got not overpowering stuff, but some nasty stuff.
And confidence. He's got the confidence of Hinch to use him in this situation, use him in the 5th inning if they need it. That's part of that magic, KG, you were asking about earlier in that bullpen. Who do they go with? This is a Swiss Army knife that he can use in multiple situations.
For sure.
Yeah, because they've used him at the back, too. So.
Yeah, he's a spot starter, and down goes Weatherholt on a sweeper. So 2 up, 2 down.
5 pitches. And
there you go, and which would be great, because then he could still be available for the rest of the series, which is something you have to look forward to. A.J. Hinch is always, and I'm sure every manager is like this. Joe Torre was like this. Leland was like this. Those guys are always, they're like offensive coordinators. they're always looking innings ahead.
Yeah.
Not batters ahead. They're looking innings ahead. Offensive coordinators aren't thinking on 3rd down and 2, oh my gosh, what am I going to run now? They already got it in their head.
Yeah.
A.J. Hinch knows exactly what's going on. Even if this happened to open up on Holton, he's thinking what he's going to do a little bit later on.
Yep, and
There's
here
a
we
ground
go.
ball to second.
Final
a
out.
1, 2, 3.
There we
9,
go.
And the Tigers win the home opener. 4-0 win.
man.
What a way to bounce back.
Well
Yeah.
done. Yep. Snapping a 4-game slide.
Wow.
Makes everybody feel good. Valdez was good. Threw a few too many pitches for me. Valdez was good. Finnegan got out of some trouble. Holton was solid, right? And you got some guys who had some timely hitting, including Dylan Dingler with a bomb.
Don't think with a bomb. That's all you need.
Yeah, prototypical Tigers offense on a good day. I'll say getting runners across, man. But
Yeah,
great
really
game
good
for the
stuff.
boys.
Yeah, appreciate that. We're going to wrap that up.
I think this is it.
This is it.
What an incredible opening day. Chef, thanks for leading us.
Yeah,
Guys,
that's great.
it was fantastic. What a great, fun baseball discussion.
Yeah.
Love the debates and love the information, right?
We could have kept going for another 2 hours if there was a game going on.
I love the pitching,
Broder's
teaching
the
people
best.
about
He
that.
brought
That
it
is
all.
so good.
I appreciate that.
So
I see you
we
do
gotta keep
Braylon's
doing that.
breakdown every Thursday.
Yeah, every Thursday.
I'm like, I like what you guys are building. One of the best segments in Detroit sports
Yeah, well,
media.
you got to do that in baseball, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you for taking some of your time on a Friday on opening day.
Yeah,
I know there's a
Gumby.
lot of choices for you, but for you to come out here, join us in the chat, and enjoy watching the game while hearing us talk about it, especially after some technical difficulties. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Appreciate
for being
y'all
in the chat.
holding on.
Yeah, have a great weekend and a happy Easter to everybody. Ryan, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hefe, Brendan, KG the man,
guy.
Broder, the baseball savant. We'll see you later, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Woo!